we have a skill name for Luminaire. Uh, yeah. Yeah, and we have quite a bit to go for that, guys. So if you want to donate towards seeing the hardest final boss, you got the entire run to go. Skill name for Luminar, we have $55 for Burning Finger. Taiho at $1 and Jeff at $1. I'm pretty sure someone just donated $1 for everything for those two.
Hello, everybody. This is Freddeh.
I am Takaze.
And I'm Malagron.
And we are about to play I Am Setsuna. At least for about 5 minutes, and then it'll become a completely different game altogether.
So you just want to get started?
Yeah, let's do this.
Are we ready? So the timer doesn't start right here, so I'm going to say, is this okay? Yes, going to start a new game.
Okay.
So
Move the mouse.
timer is going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Okay, so this is I Am Setsuna, indie game from a company. That
Tokyo RPG Factory.
Tokyo RPG. Thank you. That's why you're on the truck. That. Yeah, start spamming too. So we're doing true co-op.
And we need Ender's name.
We need
right
Ender's
now.
name now.
I'm guessing that's...
Well, he's getting Ender's name. So this is a game very heavily influenced by a couple of older RPGs. Came out about a year ago at this point. And still waiting for a name.
I believe Bad Breaks was ahead at the start.
We have
Is it
Bad
Bad Breaks
Breaks at
still?
$12 for Ender.
With no spaces.
Correct. Capital B, capital B.
Yeah.
Bad Breaks.
Does that
Great.
look good?
He was an awesome person.
All right.
Indeed.
Confirming.
So Ender is Bad Breaks.
Yes,
for
we
this
want to
game.
use Bad Breaks.
He is the quote-unquote hero of the story. Though the
Main-
game is not named after it.
Main silent protagonist.
Of course, this game is heavily inspired by Chrono Trigger.
That's gonna...
Don't spam Enter too much.
Yeah, this co-op is going to be interesting.
It's really intriguing. I'm not going to say we haven't done this before with 2 people, but
So the main thing that we'll be doing in co-op is we will be switching off.
Yeah.
So I'll mostly be playing now. And then we're going to try to split it off into quarters. So I'll take the first quarter.
Yep.
And
so he's doing the first and third quarter. I'll do the second and fourth. This is just some tutorial area for the first few minutes here.
And you get to hear the...
We hoped for a crit, but didn't get one.
Crits will make this faster, but you also get to hear the fantastic battle music.
yeah, an interesting note about the music, and you'll probably notice fairly quickly, the music is entirely done in piano, every single track. So it's a really kind of awesome score that we get to see. I love games with good music.
And particularly the battle theme is my favorite. And that doesn't usually happen. But here we get our first Sprite Knight, or whatever you want to actually call it. These are basically abilities. They can be actual attacks like Cyclone here, or they can be passive effects. And you'll see some of those later.
Yeah, so as Freddie mentioned earlier, this game is heavily influenced by some older JRPGs. And you might already be thinking of one in particular with the way the battle system works out. It's very, very reminiscent of Chrono Trigger. And even the first skill we get, the first tech we get, Cyclone, obviously being Chrono's first tech as well.
Indeed.
Hey, what are save points?
They don't exist to anyone but Ender. And Setsuna.
This is true.
We just got a $5 donation from FF11 Shadowlina.
Hello, Lena?
Who is Setsuna? What is Setsuna? I am Setsuna. There's only one answer. I am Gundam. On a serious note, these guys are the heroes of those run. They have consistently been supporting new runners of the game, myself included. So welcoming and nice to just about everyone who has either considered to run or just started. If there could be any more living legends, it would be these 3. Thank you for being so cool and kind. May smooth oil go smoothly. May jagged teeth not leave you jaded. And light bits bless you.
Thank you, Lena.
Thanks, Lena.
Lena is another runner.
Yeah. Lena's pretty much the only other active non-runner not currently, or current active runner not, oh jeez.
It's late.
Thing. I
It's
forgot about the momentum. So one of the main new mechanics this game that doesn't really show up in the games that this game is influenced by is the momentum mechanic. The momentum mechanic is basically when you are at full active time battle bar or ATB bar, you will get a secondary bar that will build up. That also builds when you are attacked or do damage, or rather take or deal damage. And once it's full, you can fill it up to 3 times and use one of the charges for an additional effect for any skill or even just regular attacks in the game. A lot of them, especially early on, will only add additional damage, but some also add additional effects, and we'll go through those when we get to them. Use a couple in the run.
You'll notice a few choices. If you're paying attention, the dialogue goes quickly, but they don't really change how the game plays out. It's just
Different
different
text.
text.
Yep.
There's some that are, a second or two quicker than the others.
Yep, and since this game is on PC, we have the choice to use either controller or keyboard. We'll be trading off the controller and keyboard when we trade off at our few different points in the game, like we said. But we do, both of us during actual runs of the game, will use both the controller and the keyboard to skip text, because using one or the other doesn't really affect the thing or make the controller stop working. So you can safely spam as many buttons as we want while skipping text. It makes it go much faster. So this is one of 2-minute or so long cutscenes in the game.
Yeah. If we wanted to, and we're already gotten tired after 5 minutes, we could take a little break here, but
Yeah, this is one of
It's a nice stretch break.
2 breaks in the game.
yeah.
The second is several hours later.
It's not too bad.
It's about a minute later on. And
Yeah. That's usually when I actually take a break.
So, in terms of the incentive for what game we are currently playing, so there is a naming incentive for Setsuna, and this game, of course, is called I Am Setsuna. So whatever name Setsuna ends up with, we will be referring to the game as I Am whatever ends up bidding. At this point,
Probably the law.
it's probably the law, unless someone wants to.
Thing really changes soon.
You gotta maybe.
You gotta put down some money.
Quickly.
We're really quickly.
We'll be cutting it off soon.
Do you want to fight the law and win?
The law always wins.
All right. So in terms of story, what we may have missed, Bad Breaks is a kind of a sword for hire. He just kind of does whatever jobs people decide to give him. And someone approached him and said, "Hey, I've got a job for you. I want you to kill this girl in this village."
This 18-year-old girl.
This 18-year-old girl. And we'll find out who that is pretty shortly.
Probably want to cut that off pretty quickly, like as soon as we enter the forest, probably.
Or I was going to do it
Probably.
right when we left here, yeah?
Yeah.
One of the two.
Oh, right, this house thing.
Yes.
So just some.
Safety. They're Athenian waters, but they're really Phoenix Downs.
Yeah. This game's version of Phoenix Downs, so
And
one use revival.
earlier I picked up some fog stones, which are
Yes.
essentially smoke bombs.
Yes.
Let us run away. You'll be seeing a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
So I think now's a pretty good time to cut off the Setsuna naming incentive, and we'll get to naming her in just about a minute here.
Dodging
Please,
things
please.
can be a little difficult sometimes. It can be interesting, the hitboxes.
Oh, really? That
Normally we
misses.
wouldn't be fighting this, but
I actually do like to fight this in my runs. So there are a few drops that we're going to be needing from this guy. And to get into how drops work, every monster will have a normal and a rare drop, which work as you might expect.
there we go.
Ooh, rare
Oh,
drop.
don't worry about that.
And you guys were
So,
saying I shouldn't fight
there's a couple rare drops in this game that we have to get. I guess I should start from the beginning on this one. The way skills are acquired in this game, you have to sell items dropped from monsters to a certain person called the Magic Consortium. And
If we
If
get
you have to
sets in his
We'll
name.
have a
There-
second.
a few skills, yeah, we're about to name Setsuna here during this cutscene.
Sure, just do a quick refresh.
But,
I think we know what it is.
yeah. But anyway, so skills are made. Yeah, come on. Sorry, now I'm paying attention to this because there's a certain place we need to stop.
Yeah,
swinging.
you can stop and I'll just do it.
Yeah, I
As
know the point.
expected, Setsuna will be the law.
Law, all caps.
All caps.
Space.
Okay.
One
Your
with
turn.
a space.
Roger.
So she will introduce herself. I am. That's all.
No. There we go.
I am the law.
There we go.
She is the
So
law.
we are no longer playing I Am Setsuna. We now are playing I Am the Law. I've never played
The
I
Law.
Am the Law before.
I've heard it's a good game, really. We're just gonna blind run this, it'll be great. Anyway, so monsters drop materials that you can sell, and certain materials are required for certain skills. There are a couple of important skills later in the game that require a couple rare drops.
You actually did it.
And the first one actually is pretty early in, like in about 15 minutes, we'll need an item that boosts our attack damage, or a skill. And, oh yeah, so we need to name Eterna here in a second. And we needed a rare from that first mob that we killed. Oh.
So in terms of naming incentives, we just decided to go with naming the first two. There will be a total of, throughout the course of the run, 7. We'll just have fun with the 5 that you guys don't get to name.
And we do only use
We'll take good
about
suggestions.
5. We only use 5 of the characters.
Really, we only use 4. We use a 5th one for maybe
Yeah.
less than 10
Yeah.
minutes. But yeah, as Freddie was saying about the drops, we need particular items to sell to a guy so we can trade him sprite nets, which allow us to get new techs. And there's 4 places in the run where we need one of the drops that we happen to need happens to be a rare drop. So
The
there's-
law is here to help.
Yes, there's a rare drop called Smooth Oil.
That luckily we got on the first Walloompa kill, those walrus type enemies, which is at least if you're going for a PB or a really good time, it's a common reset point just to, at the start of the run, try to get your smooth oily as quickly as possible.
Yep, there is a backup spot you can do for something like a marathon or something, and I'll point it out as we go past, but we don't need to worry about that.
And going back to the drop system, rare drops will preclude normal drops and vice versa, but you also have momentum kills, overkills, and
Exact kills, as you just see here.
exact kills, and also elemental kills.
And there's 5 elements in this game.
And there's a different drop for each kind of kill,
Yes.
for most monsters.
So a lot of the run is just making sure it's almost like a checklist of, I want to make sure to get all the drops I need to. So for the Walloompas, those walrus enemies, I need a rare drop. I need an exact kill, and I need a momentum kill. I have all 3 now,
Yep.
which is nice to be done with so quickly. Technically, I actually need exact kills on these guys, which tend to be really easy to do.
Not always. As
Not
you
always,
can attest.
as I have found out the hard way.
And you actually do need the exact kills, or your run is dead.
It would be pretty bad.
Usually you just incidentally get them like that. It wasn't really specifically
Yeah.
trying for it.
Yeah, we got the exact kills from the penguins from the second fight in the game, that cycling tutorial fight, which is usually what happens, but occasionally things can go very wrong and you don't
And
get
you'll
the...
see him going across and around. You can sort of preemptive encounters, and that means you start out with full ATB and a momentum charge.
Yep. Also a very useful thing. Interesting thing about coming up against fights as well is one monster can see you, but you can run into the back of a second monster in the same pack and it'll still count as a back attack.
Yeah, the way when monsters see you, it's kind of a little odd because it's not like they see you and start chasing you down. They tend to stop in their tracks and just see you. And if you happen to run into them, then you won't get into even if you approach that particular monster from behind, it won't be surprised. But as Freddie mentioned, if you pick another monster in the same pack and approach it from behind, and as long as it didn't see you, you'll still get the preemptive.
What are you talking about? The law.
The law has joined your party. Oh, thank you.
Hey, now that we have the law on our side, nothing could go wrong. Especially
Well,
against this bird.
It's not just the law, it's the law.
Ooh.
I mentioned birds are jerks.
Yeah, birds are jerks.
Yeah. This is one spot where you can actually die if you're not doing safe strats.
Yeah, so I'll make sure to do safe strats since oh, see that's
I said only hit Eterna.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Usually you just kind of go ham and use X strikes and attack. X strike is the first dual tech you can get. So there are dual and triple techs, very similar to the aforementioned Chrono Trigger. And each of those also has a different momentum. We'll be seeing a lot of X strike throughout this run because it's pretty easy to get.
Okay. You're kind of lucky there.
it's okay if the law dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably actually faster for them, honestly.
I would be slightly worried about
Yeah.
get back the law.
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of X strike because it's a very easily accessible dual tech for this run that does a pretty solid amount of damage to bosses.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna die here. Just gonna do the law.
So we have dual strat. X strike is going to be the source of our damage for a very large portion of this game. And an interesting quirk about this battle system compared to Chrono Trigger is that it actually matters who initiates the dual tech in terms of damage calculations.
So we'll be dumping a lot of our stats onto Endear, and therefore we really want to make sure once we do that, or sorry, not Endear, Bad Breaks. We want to make sure Bad Breaks is initiating everything for us, with no exceptions. I'm trying to think of an exception. And
Yep.
I can't.
Nope.
It's definitely something we can and do abuse quite often by having Endure.
Bad Breaks
Bad
is
Breaks.
very much our carry throughout the entire run.
Thank you, Bad Breaks.
And thankfully, all the skills that we use, that we would want to use, we can use with Bad Breaks.
So we do have $20 from Steven0784. The music in this game is amazing. It's the one of the most underrated games ever. So glad for the run. And we also have $5 from Moharter Benjamin. Kyo's Little Monster. I woke up super early to see this run, and I won't be sleeping until I arrive at RPG Limit Break tomorrow. Best of luck to Freddie and Takaze. All hail Demon Chocobo. Happy birthday, Solomon. Donation goes towards host choice.
We have a couple nights for that. Leave that one be for now. We have the law to worry about.
Thank you, Kios. It'll be nice seeing you.
Thank you, both of you. We are excited for this run as well. And I agree, the music is great.
It is very nice.
It's interesting, too, because the law invites Bad Breaks to escort her to this place where she has a sort of emotional moment. And I wonder what she finds so endearing about him.
Oh boy. It begins. The puns.
Sorry, I blocked that one out of my ears.
Tell me, Bad Breaks. How long do you plan on staying?
He has a lot of bad breaks, so probably a while.
The law is questioning Bad Breaks. Somehow I don't think that's the first time that's happened.
I have to say, I'm really liking this whole triple tech skipping thing. Goes really
By
fast.
using space. Oh boy. Jeez.
I think it goes even faster than one person doing two.
One thing that's nice about this game and the level design is that they usually put shortcuts on the way out.
Yes.
There's a lot of backtracking and quite a few places they do give you shortcuts.
Most of the places with heavy amounts of backtracking do give you the shortcuts.
So, story cap. So Bad Breaks, being the sword for hire, he comes to the village to kill the law, but you can't kill the law. So he decides instead to help out the law. And so the law is designated as a sacrifice to basically hold the tide against like this kind of wave of monsters that like every so many years, like the number of monsters will increase.
Yeah, it's every 20 years they have to send a sacrifice.
So she's been selected. All the sacrifices come from this village. So it's her turn. She needs protection, so the Law gets some help from Bad Breaks and the Doctor, and maybe a few other people who will join our party later on.
Wait, you're saying that he couldn't kill the Law? Ah, that's a bad break.
I have to do this for another 3.5 hours.
Man, we still 3.5 hours? Sweet.
All right, so the best mode of travel in any RPG, of course, is getting on a boat. Nothing bad ever happens if you get on a boat. in
A
an
free
RPG.
boat, nonetheless.
Yeah, we don't have to
Yeah.
pay for it. It goes to exactly where we want to go
Every time.
every time, and it works out.
So we have begun our journey officially now, after getting a fair amount of money from the chief. 'Cause apparently that little town had a lot of money stored away.
Yeah, the game gives you a lot of resources right at the get-go. You got 5,000. Bad Breaks was given 5,000 at the start, and then the Law was given another 5,000. But we'll go through money pretty quickly in a little bit here.
Also, predictably, the boat's under attack.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
Oh, there's another type of kill that we'll be seeing here, and that's a link kill. That's using a dual or triple tech. Not
Yep.
specifically this fight, but
On one of the, we'll need 2 link kills on these scullions.
Yep, we'll be getting them in the next few fights.
and another thing about level ups in this game, they do restore HP and MP, so we really abuse that fact, so we don't have to tent as often. There are no ins in this game, just using tents at save points or the overworld.
So a lot of like some small optimization I'm trying to do here is just get some AoE damage off on a few things.
Yeah, Ender's Sword has a small AoE that if they're close enough, you can hit them both. Doesn't happen all the time, but
Okay, well unfortunately these guys aren't close enough. Ideally I would have them close enough so I can get both the link kills from a single X-Strike,
yep.
but RNG is not in my favor. So I'll just get the link kill on one, and then normally kill off the second one. But I do want to save up some of my MP for definitely not a boss fight. That definitely is not coming up in a second.
Nope, not at all. We just gotta talk to that Magic Consortium guy I was talking about earlier.
He sort of starts to explain what
Starts.
he is.
Watch out.
And then the Loch Ness Monster drums.
Name of this little guy is not Leviathan. It's Schwarstorm.
Yeah, we didn't have Tree Fitty for him, so. Ooh. Double crit.
I'll play it safe here.
Yeah.
Just because of the crit. Let's go here. I'll do one extra without a momentum, and then I'll do a second one with a
Yeah.
momentum.
I
Just
usually
to
do
get
2
the-
momentums in the strat. But it works either way.
You're not really in danger of dying without the boss getting crits. But we'll play it a little safe.
Generally in the runs, this fight tends to look pretty close. Like, the Law will die, and Eternal, the Doctor will get really close to dying, but you generally pull through.
And our healing items, I don't think we actually... Do we start out with some
Yeah, they
potions?
give you a stack of 10 potions and some tents.
But they're pretty limited throughout the course of the run, since we mostly rely on level ups. And for about the second 2/3 of the game, really, you'll see why we don't need healing items as much.
Sometimes I'll deliberately be waiting a little bit for some momentum. This fight is
Yep. It's a
taking
little bit faster to wait usually.
And those are those snowflakes next to
Oh,
the
the law.
character portraits and HP bars.
Law has not won this day. There we go.
And even though we're successful,
one.
we still lose our boat because having a boat would just be too convenient.
Succeeded to almost drive it away.
And it's nice in the sense that even dead
There's
characters
nothing
get EXP.
Yeah,
Yep.
people will wake up before XP is handed out.
There's fortunately not a mechanic to worry about in this game. There's quite a few points where people die near the end of fights.
So from here on out, I'm going to be picking up food off the ground throughout this next section, just because I guess we're starving and we'll eat just about anything.
Okay, so about those exact kills. We're hoping for exact kills. It's guaranteed if you don't crit on this, which you didn't, thank goodness. But we need a total of 3 items from the white flappers here. And fortunately there are 3 fights with a white flapper in it. And we have it kind of routed out to get 1 from each of them as long as bad things don't happen.
Yes,
It
crits can be very disadvantageous in this game
Crits are not useful.
in certain places.
Yeah, anytime you're trying to go for an exact kill, you want, like, damage tends to be pretty consistent, at least early on, with the exception of you miss, you crit. And if you're going for an exact kill, crits ruin that. Now he saw me, so I'm going to
That
have
one I
to...
see you. Oh my god.
So here I'm going to go for this. So a momentum cyclone and then a non-momentum attack with the law. We'll do the trick here. Get my second hexagonal pendant. So there's some of us who like to get the hexagonal pendants a little bit later.
Yeah, me.
It's
You're talking about me.
Yeah, and it is a little bit faster to get it later on because I really right now only need 1 hexagonal pendant, but
Yeah.
later on in the run you will need another 2. I just like having it earlier,
Yeah.
as I'll be able to get a sprite net a little bit earlier than Freddeh would be able to, and that's just kind of my preference. Even though I think Freddeh's probably a little bit faster.
It's always nice
It
to...
just lets me... It avoids things like missing and critting.
This is fine. This is fine.
He should be okay, as long as he doesn't do what he did.
The
And then
birds
I
can
can actually
heal.
skip that second fight completely if I do it this way. So
It does
saves a bit of
require
time.
2 extra menus, but they're pretty quick in this game.
yeah.
So I'll need to get another link kill on these guys. So I'm waiting for bad breaks here.
2 more. Why not?
Okay.
先を急ぎましょう
Okay, so should be good on those drops.
Don't forget the square onion.
Thank you for
Yeah.
reminding me.
There are items on the overworld. This one is particularly hard to see.
Yep, need a combination of 4 items to get a consumable food buff type item. And they're all kind of grouped in similar areas, but they can be hard to see. There's just little shiny things on the ground.
They're easy to forget sometimes.
Yeah, especially without notes.
Once you get all the ingredients and talk to the right person, then you can just buy them from chefs. You don't need to continue to get ingredients the entire time.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
So what are we gonna do about our friend here?
It's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He can't kill a penguin though. Penguins are pretty
油断
weak.
しないでねよっ
With all this ice, you'd think it might be a cool penguin.
Didn't do anything.
私でも平気だよ
So we have this guy who looks a little familiar. He's a guy who really only has 1 eye. He has a big sword.
I'm nice the guy.
law.
I am the law.
Definitely not a character from Final Fantasy X.
No. I think I know who you're talking about though. Yep. I just like that name. It's a good name. Okay.
Green eye.
And he's green, so
It's really not far off.
It's,
And by
it's
green-
It takes its inspiration from
a
other
lot
games.
of things. Yeah. There's
definitely, yeah.
the one thing that is enjoyable playing this casually is definitely in a few places they're not shy about references. And there's plenty of references to a lot of older,
Yes.
specifically SNES JRPGs.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be making a return trip to this zone a bit later, so we're going to take the time now to
Pick up
grab
some
some,
subs.
a couple items we need for food, and then
set up
lower a
path,
bridge
Yeah.
for that we'll need to travel through there. We can come back and go through it later this way, but we want to get the food rolling first, and
We're also going to pick up a weapon for the law.
also pick up a nice weapon. I don't think...
Nope.
Yeah.
There is no fleeing in this game. You can't just run away. You have to use a consumable item.
Or
And
kill them.
it's smoke bombs. I mean,
Fog stones.
Fortunately, they're relatively quick to use.
yes. And you're going to have to use
not
another
gonna
one.
roll,
It's
yeah.
not gonna.
Usually you use at least 2 in this zone. These are fairly tight spaces.
Until about an hour and a half in, our fog stones are fairly limited.
Getting these 2. Oh, you can actually... Oh,
Yeah.
I never knew you could go that way.
It's probably slower, so it's a good thing you didn't know about it.
So this is the fight. Light mid.
Can't do anything about it now.
So ideally, we want to kill an owl with lightning skills, but right now the only way we could do that is with Setsuna's auto attack. Owls will flee very quickly. They're
Yeah.
sort of slime enemies. Like
there's 2 drops you need from them, and they're kind of weird because they're not normal encounters. They will randomly show up and take the place of another monster.
Don't forget the far item here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cabbage.
January cabbage
So
in May.
At some point during the run, I need to at least kill one of them with a lightning-based skill.
For 2 different items, actually.
2 different items.
Yes,
The
if
other
we
one
get
is-
the rare drop, we'll have to kill 2 of them.
Someone
Yeah.
will need to make sure to keep track of what drops we're getting.
Yeah.
So, Magic Consortium gun. We're going to start selling most of our items. I think just for consistency's sake, I'll do this.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do anything for that.
Uh,
Rest of them, yeah, sure. But
So you'll see white items here and green items. I want to be very careful not to sell anything green.
Green items are the food items, and the white items are the drops from monsters. So picking up lightning, slow, and physical pride. Physical
yeah.
pride is just like a flat-out attack bonus, and it is pretty necessary. I think in theory you probably could complete the run, but it would be a lot slower.
You'd lose quite a bit of time by
Yeah.
not picking it up. And that's why we needed the smooth oil. Smooth oil, and I think it's not, I'm trying to remember the other 2 things we need for it, but mostly the smooth oil.
Yeah, I can't remember. The other stuff we get typically incidentally.
Gonna buy some more fog stones because we're gonna be doing lots of running away. And stack of tents.
Yep.
Tents do what you would expect. Gonna pick up 1 more fruit off the ground because
hopefully without talking to that guy. Well, we tried.
It's a good thing that that doesn't soft lock.
yeah, there's a weird soft lock sometimes that can happen if you
Open a chest and then
immediately
talk
talk.
to someone.
I haven't gotten it before. I'm convinced it doesn't exist.
Yep, so we bought 2 skills, 1 each for Setsuna and Eterna, which is the other main skills we'll be using for a while. I
And
think you're
then
good.
physical pride is an equipable passive.
Because Ender leveled from that Fengi fight for some reason. But yeah, physical pride is a passive damage buff that we definitely need, as we were talking about earlier.
And again, since dual and triple attacks, the damage is calculated by whoever starts them. We're putting everything on Ender.
Yep, Ender
Bad
will be
bricks.
getting most of the stuff we'll be getting are for just Ender. Bad breaks. I'll remember it by the time the game ends, maybe.
I won't.
I tried to put the stop, catch it before you said it, but I had some bad breaks.
At some point, I'm gonna pay the tech guys to just mute this guy.
So right now we're at some, I guess a garrison is a good word for it, of, just some people that are not very good at being a garrison outside of the leader.
This is kind of a unique fight, and I kind of like it.
Yeah.
But it shows one thing that we don't ever really get to see.
I like this strategy, even though I think it's technically slower than...
No, this is fast.
So by using Cyclone has a knockback property. I can group the top 2 guys together, and so Charge and Lightning have a very small AoE attached to them. Just AoE the 2 guys down. And then there's just 1 guy left. I should kill him before he gets another turn off. Bad breaks for the kill. Good job, Bad breaks. It's the only time we actually will use Cyclone's knockback effect to do anything useful for the purposes of the speedrun, unfortunately. I think there's going to be a little lull in terms of what we'll need to talk about.
So you might need to ether Ender if you don't level off of that first fight. And then, yeah, go ahead and do donations if you have any.
Doesn't look like we have any donations in right now, but if you're just joining us, this is RPG Limit Break 2017. Here in Salt Lake City, Utah, we're raising money for NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. This month is Mental Health Month in May here. Join the conversation on Twitter by using the hashtag Mental Health Month or hashtag StigmaFree.
So let's. There's going to be 2 more incentives that we have over the course of the run, and both of them are fairly far in. So we have renaming Luminaire, kind of one of the quintessential skills from Chrono Trigger. You're welcome to name it to whatever you'd like. I think if last I checked, it was Burning Finger was in the lead, and I think we have something special if Burning Finger does manage to take it. I personally like Shining Finger as renaming Luminaire, so maybe we can see Shining Finger.
If you do or don't want our hands to glow red, vote with your money.
And then there's also Final Form Samsara, which is basically we can kind of dictate how easy or hard the final boss fight is going to be. And so if that incentive is met, we're going to be doing the hardest version of it. And by we, I mean Freddie will be doing it, since that'll be his portion of the run. And it could be really, really tricky to do that fight because sometimes he just decides to one-shot you. So if you want to put, I would say us through a little bit of stress, but again, it's just going to be Freddie through a little bit of stress. I would recommend donating for that.
Revenge for the puns.
Yeah, no changes on those donations. Burning Finger at $55, Taiho at $1, and Jeff at $1 for the Luminaire skill. And we have $55.16 out of $500 for the Final Form Samsara.
Let's see Shining Finger beat out Burning Finger. Come on, guys. Would have to.
Well, someone's got to start it, right?
So we got to truncate the name a little bit, but I'm sure you guys can make it work.
Also, you really do want to see this Final Form boss.
It can be.
It's an interesting fight.
It's an interesting fight, and it probably won't go in our favor. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
We saw Green Oron just absolutely destroying some of the monsters. Ooh.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what color. Oh, too slow.
Okay. So they had those birds that I'm trying to get that light kill on that we mentioned earlier. They have a tendency to immediately run away.
Actually, you should kill that fight.
Oh, well, I run away.
Okay.
Okay.
Minor route differences. Okay. Interesting.
Look at this guy, judging me with every move. Soon it will be my turn.
It's true.
Green Oron.
What are you doing over here? So, Green Oron has a little bit of a past, much like Oron does. He was part of the previous Sacrifices journey, and he initially said it was a success, but in fact he was lying. It was actually a failure. He did not bring the sacrifice to where she needed to be, so he's having a lot of internal guilt for that.
And he initially does not want to join with the law because
whoa, that's a spoiler, man. Calm
it is
down.
It is the law's story now.
So Reaper here, we'll be fighting him a few times.
He's a recurring character.
And you'll start to see the basis of our strategy. Slow is really powerful.
Much like Chrono Trigger, haste and slow seem to be and with that physical pride on pad breaks now, I'm going to be doing a lot of damage with X-Strike.
Nice move. Yep, X-Strike with a better weapon. The combination of the two gets your damage up decently well. And actually even Lightning pulls decent weight here, especially when it crits. So the upgraded weapon's definitely helping, and he can definitely kill you pretty fast if you don't kill him fast by doing things like this.
As you can see, the law is getting a little dangerous, but it's okay. I believe in the law here.
Ooh.
A crit to a miss.
はいやるわね
Getting a bit lucky with the attack spread here.
Oh, there goes.
When you do get knocked unconscious, you do lose any
There
momentum
we go.
charges you had.
Little rough fight, but we managed to get through it. The law has still won.
The law has performed her duty as sacrifice.
So this guy with the scythe, just call him Reaper because that's what they call him. He, for whatever reason, wants to kill the law. Doesn't say why, but he just wants to stop the sacrifice from completing her duties. Every time I see the law on the screen.
Thank you, Greenhorn.
And so again, he doesn't want to join the party. He's feeling a lot of guilt about.
The previous sacrifice failing, or rather,
Yes.
he failed the previous sacrifice. And the doctor is surprised that we're so helpful. Bad Bricks is so helpful because initially, if you remember, Bad Bricks was supposed to kill the law, but he's easily convinced by the law's just charming looks.
The law finds a way.
Oh boy.
Always finds a way.
So the first time I went to Pirica, I got the recipe for some salad. Second time through, I'll be getting a recipe for some stew. And in terms of the food that we'll be using for the run, that will be it.
Yep.
There's plenty of other food, but
One
these-
increases HP, the other increases attack.
Right. And we'll be using both quite heavily. Generally, in the first half of the run, it's going to be a lot of attacking, the Hail Bean Stew, which is the attack increasing food. And it's generally in the second half of the run, we're mostly going to be using the Purica Cobbler Salad, which will increase our HP. And it only lasts for one single fight, so we just make sure to eat some food before boss, make sure we're well fed.
There are lots of foods. Some of them have kind of interesting effects, but they're just not worth going out of your way to get them when this is basically on the way through, and we get them really early.
Yep. You also get a free food from each of them when you turn it in, so
That's true.
So
we'll be using one of them right away here.
So I normally, once you pick up a recipe, and you'll have to talk to a chef, you turn in the recipes, and then you can start just buying from them from him. But
Yeah.
we'll do that in a little bit once we actually need to buy some stuff. And foods are actually a little expensive, so in a few parts in the run, we're pretty tight on money. So
Yep.
it's kind of very nice that there's 10,000 gold right at the start, because we'll definitely need it.
Yeah, the game tries to make you think you're going to have Freyja come with you to help go through, but we never named her, so obviously she's not coming. Instead, we get Greenarn. Greenarn really wanted to help the law after seeing how much we were willing to help defend the Reaper.
Greenhorn becomes really useful in a little bit,
In a little bit. We'll
but he's not coming in the party just yet.
there's a particular.
There's
Oh.
another one.
Let's go for
Round
this.
2.
ここでは負けられない
One thing I like to do is to nice.
ガンガン
There we
行く
go.
わね
So I'm gonna take it. Make sure. Look at the drops. I should get a white stone and a large teardrop. It gave me the rare drop. Really.
Well, at
Really?
least you don't have to light kill. the
Yeah, you
next
can
one.
just cyclone the next one.
But one
Don't
thing
forget
I like to
provoke.
do
Did that.
is we have a nice Franker face emote for representing owls. I like to keep track of how many owls we encounter in a run.
I don't
Well,
think I
that's
have
2
that.
already.
Yep.
We have $10 from Taurus. Says, "Let's go, Shining Finger."
There we go.
And it begins.
It starts.
My love, my hatred, my sorrow. Okay. Well, can't get too ahead of myself.
Yeah. Giving it away.
So here I'm going to use that Hail Beans too. I'm also going to make sure to use
Yep.
this. I had
For
to-
most fights, there's a save point, and we'll be using both a food and then a tent. Or
It's
later,
important to use the
better
food
tent.
first, particularly if you're using the HP food, because it will not like scale up.
Yeah, you'll use it'll increase your the pure cacao salad will increase your max HP,
But not your
then
current.
your current HP will remain the same.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure to heal up.
But you're
afterwards.
still hungry.
Also, tenting leaves you, makes you leave the menu, so
This fight's going to be
let's
pretty
do it
simple.
now.
Gonna be doing mostly the same strats. We'll be doing slightly different things because, as you notice, the Law is doing a little bit less damage on that lightning. So I'm gonna try to get just more damage out of my extra. I want to get more of that off.
But this two will be giving us more damage in general.
Here I'm actually going to throw an ether on the doctor.
これで戦えるわできる
Gonna wait for some momentum here.
And you can see just how much that extra hit does.
天の裁きをやるわ
Has melee damage, but he hasn't really done much, so it should be fine.
The only thing we kind of have to worry about in this fight is once he starts getting low, he'll have a chance of doing a move where he'll go into his shell, and it just delays the fight because he takes much less damage in his
And
shell.
even though the Law wasn't doing a whole lot of damage, it adds up over the fight.
And the Law did finish it off for us as expected.
The Law demands justice.
The Law won.
Boy, this is what you guys got.
You donated for this.
Yeah,
And
there's
we
a lot
And
for
we
this.
appreciate it.
Yes.
So this is where we were trying to go with the boat. So Flonia, Citadel, they have airships here, or airship.
And airship.
And airship. So obviously, where our objective is to get to the last lands, and of course, just find
Airships
a place
are
with an
fast.
airship.
Yep.
And it's
an
going to be
RPG.
easy, right?
Of course we get an airship.
Yeah, we'll get it right away, and we'll get to the end of the game. And I don't know why we gave this
Should be-
game 4-hour estimate. This should
It's really useful, really. Like it's.
gonna go so
It's a
quickly.
free airship even.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to do after you get the airship, but it's nice that this game gives you an early airship, so you
Definitely.
can explore all of the snow.
Definitely.
Everything free
I
is
don't
always
think they're
good
c-
in RPGs.
I don't think they've caught on yet.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fooling them. So we're stop by another weapon real quick. Just trying to make Ender as strong as we can for these fights.
So
Also, we need time kills, but yeah.
there's I'm gonna pick up something. I mean, it's an RPG. I'm robbing old men's houses, bad breaks.
The
You're
usual.
A lovely person who has no consideration over other people's possession. So the Aqua Heart is a talisman, and generally, you in a casual playthrough, you'd probably see a lot of them. In this, you're only gonna see Aqua Heart. It'll do two things for us. I guess technically three. It'll give us some extra sprite knit slots because, as you saw at the beginning, there's only so many sprite knits that we can have equipped, so it gives Endir a little bit more. Nice, the Doctor being invisible. Little glitch there. The Aqua Heart has a unique property of just letting us see monsters' HP, which we don't really need, but it's kind of helpful. And then it has this property of fluxation. And I don't know if one of you wants to go into that now, or if we see it later, then we'll talk about it.
Well, I'll just go over it really quick right now. Basically, all the talisman has a special effect that it can flux on certain skills. In this case, it's combo power, which increases dual and triple attacks.
So what's a flux?
In each fight, if you use an ability while you have that talisman equipped, it has a chance to have that flux applied to it. It's a fairly small chance, but if we can get it on Cyclone, which is what we really want, it'll add a not insignificant portion of damage to the
So
text that we use.
The Aqua Heart happens to add combo power, so if I have a bunch of combo power, because you have multiple fluxations on a single sprite net, anytime I use Cyclone as a part of a combo, it'll add to its damage. There's plenty of other talismans that add different fluxations. We just particularly use this one because for the purposes, it's free, it's fast, and it's pretty
Talisman.
darn useful.
Gotta equip the talisman.
And gotta equip the talisman. Not that I really need it yet, but
You could get a random cyclone. Who knows?
I could. We'll see.
It's very random, unfortunately. Sometimes you'll end the run with like 5 fluxes on cyclone. Other times 1 or 2.
Or,
can
you know,
have
9.
Sometimes none.
You can
Very
have
occasionally.
a maximum of.
I would just do this fight for the debuff heal.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't split up. Yeah, you're good then.
So
we need to get
in
it.
this fight, I want to get a few things. I need some debuff kills. I need some exact kills. I need some momentum kills. And I need some time kills. I got all of them there. I also need an overkill at some point on these muffies.
Yeah.
I can take care of that later.
We'll do that in a little bit here.
And I think I need a common drop from them too.
But that's pretty easy to get.
That's pretty easy. So a lot of stuff that are very beneficial to us that we just got in a single fight.
And a lot of the stuff we just tend to get incidentally, particularly like common drops and stuff.
Get all three. So we know what we're gonna name him, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Little kid, blonde hair, glasses. I wonder what we could name him. Okay, go for it. Of course. Sorry, Jeff.
It hasn't been getting enough representation yet. We gotta give it a little bit more love.
And so the end destination for the sacrifice is the Last Lands. Then we meet this kid who's being harassed by penguins, who also wants to go to the Last Lands.
So, of course, we just like, hey, little kids shouldn't be wandering around. Join our party. Trust us.
What's it with penguins though? That was Knitter was getting. I mean, sorry, Green Oran was getting annoyed by penguins too.
Not even like hard penguins, just normal penguins,
just
which are
normal.
literally the east. That's not gonna work.
No.
That's
I
that
almost
bird.
always get that.
That bird. I didn't see the bird till the end there. So there's a little bit of RNG in terms of where monster placements are. So sometimes you can get really lucky and just go straight through monster packs. Sometimes they just don't cooperate, or sometimes you're just bad and run into them when you could have avoided them.
Usually not that.
Usually not that. For some of us. maybe.
Cough.
And here is a village called Tenderville. This is where the Flonia Citadel sends sick people. It's
Not
basically
sick people, but refugees. They're very helpful. They're
Yeah.
they don't have space in Flonia Citadel, but the people can come here and they'll take care of them. I can sell everything now. Oh, so fast, so fast.
And I can help. True co-op.
I want to buy a shock there, and I'm going to be getting a new dual tech here in a little bit, combining shock and the previous provoke I picked up to make something called Blowbeat. And Blowbeat's pretty good. I'm not going to spoil it. I don't think we should spoil it. I think we should just get into that first fight. And
You'll see it shortly.
you won't see the true benefit until about
There's a lot of
we got
benefits.
like 20 minutes ish.
It does a lot of stuff for us.
I mean, depends on which benefit we're talking about, really.
So we talked to this old man. So we came here to find the shipwright Kash. We need him for the airship. And then once we find him, we can use the airship, and we'll go right to the end of the game. And I mean, this isn't going to take 4 hours.
We might come underestimate. You and you're picking up all the food.
It was shiny. I couldn't help myself.
You couldn't even see it? It was behind a building?
I saw it. Okay.
Okay.
I saw it.
I'll trust you on that one. I didn't see it. So we need Green Arn in the party here. We don't need the law anymore. The law's going to take a bit of a seat for a while here.
Quite a while, actually.
Yeah, quite a long while, actually.
The law will sit back.
Did you equip Shock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you believe me?
Yeah. I missed it.
So I'm going to get into encounter here. I mentioned I need an overkill on one of those muffies. And I'm going to use one of these fights to do it. Make sure they don't see me. Get preemptive strikes. Just try out new blow beat. How many numbers can I see? That's actually
That was actually a weak one. They were not grouped at all.
So it was a little underwhelming. But the way blow beat works is, as you notice, it happens to hit everything on the screen. But it also has another property to it where it will, if things happen to be close to each other, it will have a small AoE around each enemy, and if there's something standing close to another enemy, it will do extra damage. So you have two things standing next to each other, they'll each take 2 hits, because they get the initial hit, and then they each are standing next to each other, so they'll hit each other, like it kind of bounces off of them. And there's a lot of fights where we abuse that property of Blowbeat to just deal a bunch of damage, and each That second property is dealing full damage. So we just double our damage if two things are standing close to each other. 3 things are standing close to each other, triple damage. 4 things, quadruple damage. And then you add in the momentum too, and that adds another layer of damage.
That's not all that Blowbeat does.
That's not it.
Well, wait,
not
there's
all.
more.
Yeah, it also does confusion, stun.
Adds a bunch of
just a bunch
status
of
effects.
status effects that definitely hinder a few bosses in this run. So
And
One thing I
status effects aren't 100%, but when you combine them with slow, if slow happens and one of the status effects happens,
it can be pretty good.
that was interesting.
yeah, that's the thing that, happens when
yeah,
you
when
do
you
that
use
for tenting.
if you use a tent and then immediately go into another place, you get weird graphical.
It's never crashed the game before.
Now you say that.
I know.
Oh, geez, you
At
guys
least
are
you
supposed to
did it
help me with
after.
this.
Wait, where are you? Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
have to
was
talk to
watching
Akash, and I have to buy some food.
Yes,
These
very
guys are
important.
supposed to help me out in my run.
I would have noticed about the same time.
So I talked to the chef. I can start buying food. I'm going to buy 2 hail bean stews. Again, those are the physical attack increasing ones. I'm going to use it on the next 2 bosses. And here is Akash, and he's the shipwright. And the king needs Akash to operate the airship. So now that we found Akash, and we convince him that, hey, we're on a journey to quote-unquote save the world, help us out. It's easily convinced. Well, technically not so easily convinced. We give him the old man's letter. Then he's convinced.
Yep.
Surprise.
Turns
the
out-
old man. Who is he?
He's old. He might have been the king once, but now he's just an old man.
Now he's just an old man.
We've got $3 from Shadowlina. You guys didn't know penguins are the true final boss of the game. Also, we need more owl trolls. That is all.
More owl.
Well,
we already got an
we
owl.
got
troll.
one.
Well, yeah.
Did we actually overkill those bushy tail?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were?
with
Okay.
Blowbeat.
I didn't actually notice.
Momentum blow beat.
None of them were close enough. I wasn't sure if momentum kills them outright.
Momentum blow beat will still do it. If you don't momentum, then definitely not.
Right.
So we're gonna return to the king. Hey, we found your shipwright. Give us your airship. Let us use your airship. Help us out, man. We're gonna save the world. Right?
Apparently we're meddling though.
Yeah.
Even though he asked
your
us to do
plan.
this.
Are you gonna stop the law? Oh.
Oh. What's
He
this thing
is.
again?
It's pretty, because he double crosses us, it's kind of fitting that he's taking the law away from us.
Yep.
And Jeff.
Tried to
Poor
take the
Jeff.
law into his own hands.
Yeah,
really.
we're also having a bit of a cure napping.
Like literally the law
Jeff,
in his own hands.
It's Jeff. Who's this cure guy? I don't know Jeff.
Jeff's just here. Don't worry about it.
So we're gonna use Blowbeat again and try to pay attention to the placement of the enemies in the next few fights. These guys are fairly close to each other. It's not bad bricks. So I'll get the multiple hits on Blowbeat here. Each of them will get hit twice.
You can see the status effects going off there.
And then pay attention in the next fight how far away things are. They're going to be a little bit further away. So unfortunately, we're not going to get that extra damage. It's still a lot of damage. Blowbeat's still really good.
Yep.
It's one of the few actual full screen skill. I think it's the only full screen skill that we'll actually use in this.
In the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these guys are going to be far enough apart where they're only going to hit once, and unfortunately isn't quite enough damage to kill them all, so I have to have the doctor help us out here, and then Bad Breaks will finish this last guy off. And
Speaking of this, look at Bad Breaks MP.
that's the downside to
Yep.
Blowbeat. It's 30 MP at
Yeah,
a
they all
time
leveled up.
when we have, I think, 80 total. So,
But we leveled up there, and leveling up refreshes HP and MP.
and the game gives us elixirs, and I use tents, and I only take fights that I really need to. So we can get around the super expensive Blowbeat. That'd be this bottom one. So the bottom one is far enough away from the top two, where top two are gonna have the bouncing effect of a Blowbeat. Bottom one, is there a miss? Must have been a miss. It can happen.
Yep.
Happens to the best of dual techs.
If you never understand that, would it be a mystery?
Yes, it would.
It's torture.
So now the old man comes to bail us out again. I mean, the old king.
Yeah, so the guard's like, oh, it's the
He's
former
like, oh,
king.
it's-
I guess
oh.
I'll just let you. I
Never
have to
mind
listen to you.
I respect you a lot.
Where was he earlier? Could have made those fights a lot shorter.
He's
old,
old.
okay?
Yeah, man. It takes him a long time. He had to walk uphill both ways in the snow. Okay, maybe just in the snow.
Definitely in the snow.
Probably uphill both ways, too,
I mean, you have to
actually.
go uphill.
Yeah, there is.
The shortcut's uphill, so yeah. Oh, why are there penguins in here? Why are there penguins everywhere? There's just always penguins.
They're the true final boss, and you know. We'll actually see how much wrath we've invoked from penguins a little bit later.
So these guys are still the same pengies. Still makes for super easy fights. They don't put up any sort of resistance.
すぐに片付ける
Oh,
That's fine. Momentum.
先を急ぎましょう
Alright, so we got another boss coming up, so I'm gonna eat one of those stews. I'm gonna tent, and I'm also gonna take a bit of a safety stage, just in case some really bad things happen. Yeah, we'll do this one.
there's
Yeah.
one of 2 people who have actually died to this boss.
It shouldn't happen, but
It shouldn't.
starting now, a lot of bosses will have HP triggers where they'll have some sort of powering up move when they get to below half HP. This guy will
Ooh.
transform. That's completely fine.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying.
So once he gets to below 50% HP, he'll transform, and then he'll start doing a lot of really scary things.
Only
AoE attacks, a lot of damage. So I want to kill him before he actually does anything super scary. 2 extra should do the trick. As long as both these extra hits, easy peasy. If I see a miss, I'm gonna be a little scared.
Here's that
Just does this
HP trigger.
move.
You'll notice also that we didn't cast slow in the beginning. For whatever reason, he's incredibly resistant to slow.
Yeah, different bosses will have their different resistances to various status effects. So sometimes I will, make sure to slow because it happens to be really good per particular boss. Sometimes I just avoid it because it's too resistant for me to even try. And that fight tends to go well enough that the blow beat and double X strike does the trick most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. And so I've gotten about an hour in, and I mentioned that we're going to be splitting up into the game pretty much into quarters. So I'm going to do the second boss fight.
Yep, there's another boss fight coming right up here in a second, then we'll switch. And yeah, make sure.
It's important that we equip that weapon from before, even though it's a lower attack power. This boss is resistant to the time element. And it goes very poorly and very long if you have a time weapon equipped on bad breaks.
Are you guys on a boat again? Is this a
This is
smart
the
idea?
airship.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the airship.
It's an
yes.
airboat,
It's an
Yeah, it's just
honorary
a
boat.
Parked in the water.
although it's not
It has a
our
mast, so.
it's not our real dad boat.
Yeah, so I want this airship.
I really want this airship.
But this king is a little, I guess, cocky where he thinks
got
he can
this.
operate the airship by himself. The whole point we needed Kosh is that he's the only one that can do so. So the king tries to do it himself, and
And he messed it up.
he's done moved. The thing's gonna blow up. What are you doing, guy? No one even tried to stop it. Oh look, it's our friend, Mr. Reaper.
He looks familiar.
Looks familiar. So the king thinks this guy is going to help him out because the king is kind of a traitor and selling his people to kind of protect Flonia Citadel. And it was going to sell the sacrifice to kind of protect himself. But Reaper just wants to kill the law. So kind of similar fight. This time I can actually use slow. Tends to work most of the time.
You'll notice it didn't work on the upper target.
You weren't able to slow the upper target?
Well,
It's resistant to time element.
I think that missed Reaper, so it should be fine.
and the whole point of this fight is I actually ignore the Reaper and just kill the device in the back because it's supposed to blow up, and if we don't kill it fast enough, it's going to blow up and bad things will happen.
City will be destroyed.
And you know, the Reapers come to us in this snowy environment. So I guess you could say the
It's
Reaper
coming.
don't fear the seasons.
It's coming.
できる
Not going to be enough, Bailey. So I'll just have you finish it off with the area.
That's just an attack weapon, probably, yeah.
You get a crit. All right, so that's going to be part 1. Part 2 by Freddie. Do handoff here.
It's a lot smaller than the keyboard.
So again, really all I'm doing here is just going to be advancing the text a little bit. Normally, if we do this, you know, I don't keep Freddie in my house, so I would just be doing this all by myself. Yeah, or he would do it by himself.
Yep. So usually you have one hand on the keyboard and one on this. This time we get 3 hands because 3 hands are better than 2.
This is co-op. This is co-op.
The law decided to shield Jeff from the explosion.
The law is generous, saving Jeff.
The law likes Jeff. Is saving Jeff actually, you know, true good? Or
You know what?
I think it depends on who you ask.
I am tired of this city, so let's get out of here.
are we not buying a weapon?
Typically do that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't ever buy a weapon there.
And we probably don't have the money for it, maybe? There's a weapon that we'll need to buy eventually. We could buy it now, but we don't need it immediately. But at some point, we'll need to get one. So, lore-wise, the law protected Jeff. And the explosion was a magical explosion, so the law cannot be healed by normal means. It has to be healed magically. So Jeff is going to take us back to Jeff's village and should find a way to heal the law there.
Jeff is what's called a half-blood, which is part monster, part human.
Yeah,
so they have magical energy that humans wouldn't. They know about magical things.
they're special. Jeff is special.
Which is also why he was kidnapped.
Okay, you change this before I forget, because
Oh,
otherwise I'm gonna
okay.
go crazy. So he
Yeah.
plays on. You can set the cursor on either various forms of memory or just have it reset every time. I prefer to keep it on memory because it's preferential. You can do either one. But Takaze is used to doing it on reset, so we're probably just gonna be switching that back and forth between our sections.
If I remember the next time.
Yeah, we'll try and remind you.
Oh, you'll remember the first time you try to do something and it's all wrong.
You can also set it to not
There's-
to remember just what item category you used, but also like a specific item or a specific action. So it's kind of nice to have.
Yeah. So I can just go into fight, spam X or Fodstone and be done usually.
So the way that we split up the run kind of spreads out the love of the RNG. So I had to deal with the RNG of Smooth Ore, which was really kind to me.
Yeah.
Got it on the very first try, but Freddie here is going to have to deal with, in my opinion, the worst RNG in the game. And I think Lena mentioned it earlier. There's going to be 2 rare drops which kind of get called Jagged Teeth. And it's particularly frustrating because you need 2 rare drops. Instead of just the other rare drops are just 1.
We also get more chances at it, but it's a much lower drop rate.
It seems like it. I don't think we actually know what the drop rates are.
No.
If I had to
Yeah.
guess, it's like 1 out of 8, but that's just me guessing, and I like 1 out of 8.
That's I don't know. I've gotten 2 from one fight before.
It can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
It can
It's just-
happen,
it's just
or you can
probability.
spend
Random.
what 6 minutes on it, Freddie?
Yeah, don't remind me. That's the wrong one.
Yeah. And we will need another time kill here, so it's important to use the time crossed.
Yep. Plus it just does more damage. Hiding behind the clouds. So yeah, we'll be going through here, killing some more penguins.
Hoppies, these
Birds can
guys.
be jerks, even non-flying birds.
Yeah, they're still birds and they're still jerks.
Yep,
I didn't really think about that, but yeah.
they're land birds.
I mean, they swim. Not these ones. But
Okay, land and sea birds.
So, kind of the same idea. Preemptive
Can they
strike.
pl-
Cross our fingers.
can they play land blitzball and normal blitzball then?
Maybe.
So, we're looking for jagged teeth. Jagged teeth. Big money. Big money.
One.
One.
Okay, cool. Good start. Good start. I can take that.
And we do need a time kill from This
one of these
ferret
enemies
with a
here.
snowball.
A ferret with a snowball. That's actually what they're called.
It's not what they're called, but I can't think of them as anything but.
They're roly polies. So, can we get really good RNG here? We'll see.
先を急ぎましょう
Jagged teeth?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm still going to do the next one because I got to level up here. So I have all the mana in the world.
And if we get really lucky, then we can just pass on through. And what will happen if we don't get the jagged teeth here, then we'll have to just exit out of the zone and reset it to get these guys to spawn again. So it can sometimes be a little frustrating.
Yeah,
Game's not cooperative.
it loses time.
So one last chance.
Nope.
Got it.
Oh, you
We
did.
got it.
Yes.
Thank
Nice.
goodness we can just move
Okay.
on.
You
Did
played-
Nader level up?
You played
No,
that
we
so
didn't.
well,
Okay.
Freddie. I'm really proud of you.
I got all the luck. You know what? I want more money.
We got $25 from Kim Pine. Good luck on the run, Freddie and Takaze.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it.
Isn't that the drummer from Sexpo Bomb?
It is indeed the drummer from
Yes.
Sex Bomb. I'm killing a little bit of extra stuff here for some money, so we can make sure to try to afford everything from the next shopping coming up.
And the next shop is really the only time, the next and only time that we'll be short on money.
Yeah, there'll be a grind
Usually.
session in a little bit. It's pretty short. It should take less than 10 minutes, definitely. And conveniently enough, we'll get a lot of money from that grind session, too.
And this
So-
is introducing a type of monster that's basically the pinnacle of whatever type of monster that may be.
They're called Sprite Knit Eaten monsters, and they're just supposed to be super hard versions that if we tried to fight them now, we'd probably get our butt whooped. But there'll be another pack later on that will manage to squeeze out some wins for a bunch of XP.
Yeah, there's a few things that come together.
A few things.
And,
Yeah.
You may guess what it is, but we'll leave it hidden for now.
It just so happens that we can actually kill them effectively. And we'll be using that. You'll see the benefits of that pretty quickly here.
Definitely going to want you on helping skip because there's a
Oh,
lot of
yes.
cutscenes in
Yes.
this village.
This is probably my least favorite section of the game, not only because of the Jagged Teeth RNG that was actually nice to us today, but this is the little bit of a section where we're just kind of going back and forth in this town, a lot of text, just, okay, go talk to this person, go talk to this person.
It's basically one of two big story dumps.
The city of Jeffs. All the
Ci-
Jeffs.
Yeah, so this is Jeff's village. They're special.
Jeffs.
All the Jeffs. Do you think I should get the 8 ether tracks?
I do.
Probably.
I do.
You always get
Make
it?
sure
I
you don't talk to them.
I've never had that happen.
I'll use this time to
Yeah, don't soft lock
remind
the game.
people of the bids that are going on right now. First off, we have the big one, final fight with final form of Samsara, which we need some help on. Here, $55 out of 500 for the hardest form of the final boss, and that'll be open until the end of this run here. We have the skill name for Luminaire. When are we? How long into the run until that comes up?
It's over an hour.
Well
left.
over an hour, yeah.
We've got some time for that one. Right now, let's see. We have Burning Finger at $55, Shining Finger at $10, and then Taiho at 1 and Jeff at 1 for that one.
So
And you really, really do want to see that final boss. So we need some help with that. You've got 2.5 hours.
yeah, that'll be literally to the end of the run.
You had a lot of money, jeez.
So we picked up a few things there. Combat Instinct is another support sprite knit that we'll be throwing on Endear, and it will
Be very careful. Thank you.
add extra damage based on max HP. So higher HP Endear has, higher, like a bigger damage bonus. I want to say it gets pretty close to 50% when he's at full HP. Probably not quite that much, but
It is one of the things that we absolutely need for the grinding session that we're about to do.
and in general, just throughout the whole run, it
Yeah,
will
it
make
saves a
everything
ton of
faster.
time.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
But we need it almost instantly. We cannot do it without it.
Yeah, that's
So-
what the Jagged Teeth are what got us that the Combat Instinct, so that's why it's so important to have.
Yep, we also picked up a couple weapons. Most of Ender's weapons, or rather, Ender has access to pretty much weapons that have every type of elemental added to them, so it's an easy way to just switch weapons to get certain elemental kills that we'll need. The light weapon, we picked up one of the weapons just as a light weapon because we need some light kills. Both, well, we could use it for the owl, that we don't need to anymore. And we also need light kills from a enemy later on.
We do still need an owl kill.
Well, we
though.
still need a
We do still need an hour
large-
kill.
At
yes,
least
yes, I know. You just don't need that to be light.
Yes.
Which means I don't have to waste time changing the weapons.
So Jeff here is trying to cure the law, but he's having a little bit of trouble because he's not that strong. We can't actually use him in our party yet. And he's trying to remember an incantation, and Jeff just isn't pulling through.
He just
sure a lot
doesn't
of
have
people-
enough
He's
magic.
not strong enough.
He's out of PP, maybe?
Yeah.
He's always out of PP.
He's always out of PP. Okay, so exposition, go in here, more exposition.
Yeah, they're just going to tell a little bit about the story of their people.
And the
to
village.
sum it up, is basically they're normally they're incredibly short-lived people, but they used to in the past be incredibly long-lived and very. I'm getting it backwards. They're normally incredibly short-lived and very powerful magically, but they figured out if they lock away their magical powers, they can live longer. So they kind of, a long time ago, said, hey, we'll just lock our powers away at birth so we can actually live a normal life. And we'll see Jeff here get a little frustrated that he's just so weak magically. And he decides to,
He thinks the law is dying.
well, I mean, she is.
Yep, and they just try to live out their lives peacefully in this village by creating little barriers and stuff, making it hard to get here.
And hiding when monsters attack. They don't fight back.
Uh-oh. Did you say monsters?
Talking about monsters.
As you can tell by the intense battle music, monsters decide to show up, so we have to hide. For whatever reason, they don't say why. I have my own theories of it. Hide in a tent, monsters ignore you. Don't know
That's
why.
how the
Well,
world
the
works.
monsters are basically, they're supposed to be basically instinctual creatures. They don't have tactics. They don't.
Yeah, they're supposed to be really dumb. My theory is that they're either vampires, or in this particular case, they don't like. Well, I guess I would kind of go with vampires. They don't like garlic because you can kind of see on the tents here that they got something that looks like garlic hanging up from the wall. So maybe they don't like garlic.
They're definitely not hungry because they're just sitting in tents full of food, and the monster's like,
Yeah,
I'm just
wander
gonna
around.
wander through these tents. Nothing human is here. Nothing's left. It's fine.
This is fine.
Although, even though the doctor doesn't talk much in this entire segment, it does feel like it takes an Eterna.
Can we get some, if there's any donations to make it stop?
Yeah, just start hyping anything. It's fine. Middle again, right? Yeah.
Yep. We're almost ready to do stuff again.
Gameplay. I love gameplay.
Yay, gameplay.
So the elder, since Jeff failed us once again. The elder is like, okay, I'll get some herbs, and that should cure the law. It'll be fine.
And it worked, interestingly enough.
For a little bit.
What happened? The
Better.
monsters set up a trap. The monsters are supposed to be dumb, so everybody's surprised that the monsters are smart enough to set up a simple trap. So we have to fight the monsters again.
But first, exposition.
Exposition, yep.
Jeff decides he actually wants to be useful.
Yeah, so this is what I talk about. So Jeff was like, hey, I want to join you guys. I want to help you out, but I'm weak now. I can get my powers back, which in turn would make him live incredibly in short life, but he'll take that bullet for us.
But he can do more with it.
He wants to help out the law.
The law does share a tender moment with bad breaks.
Okay, don't forget this menu.
Yeah. So we can do a tent. We can do equipping the fire sword. It's the Crimson Lotus.
This, and then...
Make sure to equip that combat instinct
Actually, no,
because
the party's
we
one point.
made a big deal about it. There's going to just be a few forced fights, not a boss yet.
And this is where all the Half-Blood's magical energy is stored.
So Jeff is going to get his magical power
In a rock.
from, like, talking at a rock. I don't know. I don't know how he gets his power back.
It's, I guess, technically a crystal. Surrounded by rock. And apparently it's an aphrodisiac. 'cause he's really
Yeah,
happy.
the monsters are interested in the magical energy.
I'm gonna ask you.
はい
There's a few different ways to do this fight.
Of course.
The most frustrating thing is these roly-polies have really good evasion, and then they have a move on top of that. Okay, didn't use
Oh,
it
good,
there.
they didn't use it.
That
Yeah.
increases their evasion.
Let's use another move.
It's basically impossible to hit them if they... I can't remember the name of it, but they get on top and...
Yeah, they'll just get on their snowball and start making fun of you. I don't know what to do.
start playing yakety sax, basically.
Because I don't have that up anymore.
これで終わり
She doesn't do enough damage on it. Shouldn't bother. I'm trying to conserve mana here because of...
Yeah, there's 5 fights, so I like to do the fights where I just glow beat through everything, and then just I'll have to take some time to throw some ethers out because you run out of mana really quickly. You can instead play a little more conservatively, save some of your mana on the first few fights, and then you'll have enough for glow beat.
Did use it with green ore on
I
there.
might
You
have used
could-
it.
Yeah.
I'm not used to these names, so looking
Yeah,
at names.
I struggled a little bit at first. So we're used to always seeing the names in the bottom left, but
Actually, if you'll
Getting extra
notice,
exact kills just in case.
another thing you can notice is that when someone's turn is up, their portrait and
they'll
stuff
light
is
up.
Uh,
highlighted.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Blaubeat kind of goes through this physical evasion.
Yeah.
Sometimes it
unlucky
does,
having this
sometimes it
happen.
doesn't.
We're
There's
fine.
still a miss there, but since it hits so much, I think I get hit
Yeah.
like 5
Yeah.
times on a single guy.
Didn't get a little bit that much.
すぐに片付ける
Okay, we have ethers.
Mm,
これで終わり
I don't bother with ethers.
Again, difference in strategy.
Should've
I'm
used the
not going to say
attack
my
first.
way's right.
But I don't usually get those extra ethers, so
はい
That's the first time I think I've ever seen them do that.
I know. Like, what is that move that they're using?
So confusion is a status effect where it kind of just reflects some of the damage that you deal.
It hurt itself in the confusion.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Not quite the same as other.
Because your move
Classical
will
confusion.
still go off. It's just you'll get like some of the damage reflected at you.
Okay, so now we need to go back to the village to make sure everyone's okay over there.
Remember to eat food.
Yeah. Does 10 heal? I think it does.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
it does.
Okay. Do you need to do anything else?
Ten-
No,
okay.
it shouldn't be.
Make sure. Yeah. Okay. Good. And then save just to be sure.
Food?
That was the last thing.
I mean, you can still do
Yeah.
it there.
Oh, that's right.
You can eat food
Yeah.
literally anywhere.
I just wanted to go back outside. It's nice
it's
outside.
nice.
It's very common because
Very
we
nice.
do the tents after the food. Typically, that we think to do it on save points or on the overworld.
Yep. Okay, so this boss has a
The law is back.
it's pretty straightforward. Most of the bosses you'll see is very similar to the same strategies. First we gotta kill this extra set of mobs though. Fortunately, Jeff does it for us.
That was a nice bottle rocket. Thanks, Jeff.
Yep. If only he could do that the rest of the time.
Yeah,
Kill
he
everything in
never
one
will
shot
do
with
that
one
again.
fire.
Yeah.
This giant thing appears that doesn't have anything to do with anything else that was attacking us.
I mean, it was probably the one making all that noise.
It's called Time Slave. It's a slave to time,
It's kind of
unlike
actually
the Doctor.
reminiscent of, I think they're called the Guardians in Skies of Arcadia. Kind of looks like Grendel a bit.
That. Yes. I'm being a little bit slower with some of this just because of names.
It's time to show my true power.
できる
It's his final form. And speaking of final form, do get your donations in for the final form of Samsara.
Oh, nice segue there.
It's okay. Hitting Kier is okay. He's not really There's a little bit extra damage to try to make the damage go through enough.
Generally, the game expects you to use here, Jeff. Here,
Okay, so it casts a
As-
buff here.
you tend to not do a whole lot of physical damage against this guy, but
できる
bad breaks. It's real strong.
Especially with the
this.
attack food.
And then one more
Yeah,
momentum X strike and he's done.
And that buff, again, was an HP trigger.
Yep, so he's going to use a move that does damage as he dies. You don't see this much
Georgia.
through most of the game, but you do see it at the end. And
And, you know, another quirk is that there's a bunch of enemies that counterattack in Chrono Trigger. We don't actually have counterattacks in this game.
Isn't there there's some sprite in it that does something like that? Not that we see it in the run.
yeah,
It's basically our version of confusion. Like, sort of passive on the enemies. But we don't do it in the run. And it's another consequence of that not mattering on who starts the dual or triple attack. We find out this little specter is Jeff's brother. It could also be Tony, I guess.
How heartless, Jeff.
so rude. And now Jeff officially joins us as a member of the party.
So before he was in our party, and it said, Jeff, join your party, but you can't actually use them for whatever reason. Story reason, but they still want you to know that he's part of your party. So now begins the grinding. It's going to be short. It's maybe 5 minutes at this point that it should take, depending on how safe we want to be.
And there is a little bit of RNG to it, but
You're not going to save.
Yeah, I should probably say.
Just in
Yeah.
case. This is
this
actually
first fight
scary.
is actually really rough.
So we mentioned the sprite-eaten monsters and how they're super powerful versions of normal monsters. Combining the effects of blow beat,
Combat instinct.
Fire weakness.
fire weakness,
I think we lost Takaze's mic, maybe?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's me though.
oh.
so
So I'm avoiding these for now.
And it's
I'm gonna
very important that we get a momentum charge.
There's a lot of extra damage.
And
plus
because they were
need to
all together, the blow beat effects really went into each other, and we
Yep.
killed them.
Then we get 3,000 XP per fight, which, as you saw, basically gave us 2 or 3 levels just in that fight alone.
And we'll be doing this for quite a while.
Takaze will be returning momentarily to the voice. Okay, this is a thing that happened. That one didn't see me, I don't think. Okay. That one. Okay,
And
so
again,
still
they're nice and
together.
grouped up. If they're not grouped up, the first few fights can be really rough.
Yep, even with a
before you get
miss.
a few levels.
Oop, I forgot I skipped that one the first time.
You should just kill this one.
Oh, not when I get that.
Fair enough. Just to show the EXP you would get from a normal fight.
Yeah. Well, I kill him anyway for a little bit extra money, and just because it's about the same speed as Fog Stones, and I don't want to waste Fog Stones if I don't have to. But usually if I have to fight him, I try to back attack him so it's faster.
Yeah. Our fog stones are limited.
I made it okay. So this one, that one is farther off,
Yeah,
so
I
I'm probably going
think
to
the
use a fire
bottom
to
one,
finish it
yeah.
off. I don't know if this will kill. It'll be fine.
Ooh, did not kill. This can get dangerous depending on what the fox does. It can freeze enemies right here,
Like Ender, unfortunately, but
and this is a status where you can't do anything.
okay.
But we're
this-
fine.
Okay, we're fine. Assuming that doesn't miss.
Scary, not just because of the freeze status. It does a lot of damage, and if everybody ends up getting frozen, it's game over, even if they're all still quote-unquote alive. So it's very important to really, I believe the other two mentioned, stressed that we really want that preemptive strike for the momentum, so that we can pretty much guarantee that at least 2 of them are going to die. If we get into a situation where all 3 are alive after we take our turn, scary things will happen and we'll probably have to run away.
Yep. Yeah, if they start freezing, it goes downhill very fast. 23. So we need 3 more. So we're grinding to level 26 here. That tends to put us at just a decent level to get through the rest of the game without spending a ton of time farming here.
And the main reasons we want to level up, so we get some extra stats, HP, MP, and we really want to make sure to get enough levels. Every few levels, you'll get an additional Sprite Knit slot. And we're going to be throwing so many Sprite Knits out in deer towards the cursor that we would run out if we didn't do a little bit of grinding.
Pay attention here. So 68 EXP for that fight, and we're getting 3,000 for the ones up here.
That's the difference.
Got another jagged too.
I think you had summoned the
Probably.
the forces fights as well.
And then you can just see that because of all of these coincidental things,
It's just
this just makes it so much more efficient to farm levels that we'll need for the rest of the game.
If just anything was a little bit different, if we did a little bit less damage, then we wouldn't be able to do this if they didn't have a tendency of stacking up on each other, because for whatever reason they just like to group up a lot of the time.
Yeah, just kind of walk into each other.
We do need
that.
Yeah, so pay attention to the normal drop. We need
Got it.
Depending.
Well, got the kill at least.
Yeah.
large tier drop.
Yeah, okay.
Now we're fine.
So we're good on that mark.
And then we need exact kills a bit later on.
There's a few other things we'll still do.
got
That's
Ooh.
This is going to be a bad formation, but
you can still try it and try to run away with Jeff if it doesn't work out.
or green around.
We'll just play it safe.
I'm gonna just get out of here.
There's no need to do that
dangerous.
because we haven't really saved since we've started.
Yeah, way too dangerous. So we do have to run out and reset. It takes a little bit extra time, but
it could very well be possible. We could have gotten through that fight, if they decided to not freeze bad breaks. But
it's just not worth the chance, yeah. I guess while we're doing this, we can talk a little bit about the history of this run. So this came out in North America just a little under a year ago. It had been out in Japan for a little while, and this route is still largely based on one that we saw from a Japanese runner named Edgeridio. The original sort of Western people that put a lot of work into this game, the chief among them and held the world record for a long time, was Avanis. And I put a little bit of work here and there. I have one lasting contribution to this route, which we'll see later, but it wasn't until, I guess, November and December that we really had new runners. And they've really revitalized sort of the scene and put in a lot of optimizations.
Yeah, Freddeh, Lena, and I both kind of started pretty much running around the same time.
more or less, yeah. Okay, sure.
So grinding session done. We're pretty over leveled at this point. Not too much, maybe about 10 levels at this point, higher than what they'd really like. So for the next little bit, we get a bit of a break in terms of how easy the fights are going to be. But in less than an hour, it's going to get to the point where our levels have tapered off and become not so impactful, and fights become a little bit harder again.
Yep, and eventually by the end, we'll definitely be underleveled still.
Yeah, by the end of the run, we're probably close to 15 levels under. But right now, we can enjoy being over-leveled and having an easy time. So, quick lore update. This is the same guy who told Bad Breaks. Oh, sorry. He's like,
Start
why
hitting
aren't you
enter
helping
myself
me?
if I have to.
This guy is originally told Bad Breaks that he needs to kill the law. And he's like, hey, you haven't killed the law yet. Why not? So we're like, hey, well, the law's going to die because the law is the sacrifice. So it'll happen eventually. And he, for whatever reason, the mysterious man is completely fine with that. He's like, okay, whatever. We'll just pretend this never happened.
I just think I think the guy, he just thinks the Bad Breaks has just had enough bad breaks. Like, can't have any more bad breaks. Let me go through. Thank you.
The concept of the sacrifice is not limited to Knive Village. Everyone pretty much knows about it.
Yeah.
It's very much
So-
a concept the entire world we live in, or they live in.
Just replace
Another owl.
Oh, okay, that worked.
Wow.
I was not expecting that to work, honestly.
That's 4 now.
4 owls.
Not gonna get it.
Yeah, I should have just gone. Yeah, you pretty much just replace sacrifice with summoner, and you got the general idea.
Yeah, the story itself isn't particularly unique, and they weren't trying to go for some groundbreaking story. Definitely, where the game really does excel is the whole theme. Everything in the game does a good job at reflecting like the mood of the game, which is all about sadness, which is a little weird to say. Just because we're here having a bit of a fun time, and it's like, oh, this game's all about being sad.
No, it's not sad. We have a couple donations in here. We have a $5 anonymous donation. Thank you very much for your $5 donation. And $25 from Chinkuza as well. No comments on either of those, but we would much appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we're gonna need to pick up. Not right now. We have a bunch of story actually to go through.
Not too much.
A little bit of story, then some boss, and then a lot of story.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking the exact kills on the bunnies.
Oh, that will come later.
Yeah.
You don't need exact kills on the bunnies.
Yeah, we already
the
got
rare drop.
those actually. We already got those.
No,
from the Muffies.
for the light bit.
That's rare drop.
Yeah, we'll need a
right,
bushy.
right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those will again come later, maybe in 20-ish minutes or so.
We have stuff to do first. Lots of time to spend in Royberg.
Royberg, we'll be here a few times. So this is kind of another section where it's kind of a hub. We'll be kind of going back and forth doing a lot of stuff in. But right now it's empty. And why is it empty? Well, we'll find out. I think I see a kid in the distance. Maybe we should ask a kid, like, what's up? Oh no, poor kid.
Hey, he's surrounded by a lot of these little.
Let's save him.
Doing stand-up comedy to hermit crabs, apparently.
Yeah.
We don't like that kind of action here.
A very adventurous hermit crab there.
So because we're kind of over-leveled and the blue beats just happen to be really good.
And they're vulnerable. Well, I guess those aren't probably vulnerable, but a lot of this stuff is vulnerable to fire.
I just would do so much damage that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We did like 1,000 damage each, then they have like maybe 150 HP.
So
The law promises to rescue people.
yeah, so the village got captured by some monsters, and there's a cave back, in the back part of the town, or behind the town, that we're gonna go save people.
Yep.
That's-
Someone, I think she just has to lay down the law.
Oh boy.
And
And we want the doctor in for X strikes. Still going to remain a large part of our damage.
So there's going to be a rare drop that we're going to need from these enemies that we see here called Prickly Puff Puffs. But there's a few forced encounters that we're going to have. So ideally, we'll get them from one of the 3 forced encounters. I think we'll fight a total of 6 of them just from these encounters we have to do anyway. So after each of these fights, we're just going to take a quick glance at the drops, see if we are lucky. And unfortunately, these enemy types, whenever they die, will have a self-destruct move, and we'll have to sit through them individually every time. So hopefully we get it quickly. Squishy skin, we got
There it is.
2 rare drops.
I'll
That's a
take
single
it.
thing.
There's only 2 of them in the fight, too.
Yeah.
Now we just have to do the extra Or
There
the,
goes all our good RNG.
fights.
Luckily, we're
Marathon
close.
luck, yeah.
We
Wait.
really only have one more thing
Yeah,
to do.
we've had really good like rare drop luck throughout this whole run.
Are
One
we sure we're at a
last.
marathon right now?
I don't know. Am I still in my house?
Are we riding female horses?
I always go with this direction here. Every time.
There'll be one more rare drop. What we mentioned earlier, some more bunnies we have to kill for their tails. Maybe that's only 20 minutes or so, but now we gotta rescue some villagers.
Oh, right. I spoke too soon. We have those, which notoriously hate me. I mean, not notoriously, but I hate them.
はい
If we don't get that, are we farming those?
I think
Yep.
just to be safe.
Okay.
And it shouldn't take long because we only need a single one, and they tend to come in pretty big packs.
Yeah.
先を急ぎましょう
I think we got more in that way.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
I think I saw one.
Let's calm
Yeah.
down, game. We'll
We
need
only
you
need
later.
the one. This guy.
We'll meet him again later. Well, we're
Talk
just
to
sort
him a
of
few times.
vaguely meeting the villagers and, you know,
油断しないで
get a little bit of the story behind how they ended up in this situation. And you start to get the idea that something's a little off.
Something's a little weird. Normally, there's a band of knights that protects the village, but they're out doing whatever they do.
Other thing.
Other
Apparently.
things.
Nope. That's right. I had to fog switch.
Trying to run away. You cannot run away from these fights. Just so you guys know, he should you.
That'd be nice if I could just get rid of him and then save the person. I don't have to wait for these self-destructs.
But we need this person. This is the.
Enthusiastic girl, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, you're right. She makes a reappearance later on.
All right, so we got a $5 donation from Knocked Frost. Good luck to my boy Freddeh. I got home to see in time to see this run. Shoutouts to the Final Fantasy community and all the people at RPG Limit Break. Money goes towards naming a veil for as tradition goes. Noctis Frost. Thank you very
Noctis.
much. And we do have a $25 donation from Blue Undertones. This is Takaze's girlfriend, Honeypot. I'm sorry I missed COL. Everyone at home is rooting for you,
I know we don't
Booties,
use one here.
Zelda, and I, even Thor. Play nice and PB or don't.
Okay, so yeah,
Or don't come home.
so that is
No,
my
I'm-
girlfriend.
No,
and,
I'm kidding. Love you.
So I do have to call her Sweet Potato because she wants to make me blush on camera.
Mission successful.
And so Bad Breaks knows that this
Something's
kid
up.
that was doing stand-up is actually a monster.
His jokes were that bad.
And it's really weird because monsters aren't supposed to take on other appearances.
生贄は俺が守る行くぞやるぞ一気に肩を押すあらよっと
It's a pretty straightforward fight, as we mentioned earlier. We're kind of a little bit overleveled.
やるぞ
There's a few annoying things that can happen, like,
Like
that. It has Paralyze, which adds... Like, Paralyze really is kind of more like a silence. It locks us out from doing text.
あらよっと
When used on us, if an enemy gets paralyzed, it locks them out from doing anything. Stop it, the law says.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
行くぜ
So, ideally, we wouldn't get paralyzed, but we're just gonna...
That's
get
his
through it.
life.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
はい
We could have used a panacea, but there are a few other places
Yeah, the
where
fight's quick enough.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a quick fight and
as
we're more
the Beetle
dangerous.
decides to do his rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody.
So,
Mama.
boy.
Mama,
Can we
need to
play this game
escape.
faster so we can be done with this?
Oh, it's never gonna end.
Oh, man. I have to room with this guy.
At
So,
least I don't pun in my sleep.
Thank you. So the guy was, this kid was calling out for his mom, and as he tells us here, that all he was trying to do is get food for his mother. And the thing in the background, that's his mother.
Yeah.
So the law has to break it to him. Your mom is dead. It's a little, again, it's a little sad. This game is all about being sad.
Yeah, this is not a happy game.
No, not
Apparently, the person that actually came was a certain person with a scythe.
Yeah.
Well, who do we know with a scythe?
Nothing really. He wants to kill the sacrifice, and I hear he doesn't like the sacrifice, and he wants the law dead. That's really all we know.
But why did he kill monsters? It's rude.
We don't know.
Isn't that Bad Breaks?
Yeah, you're forcing it now.
No, I actually meant the character. That wasn't a pun.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
make
Bad
them
Breaks
every
is-
other
I'll
time.
give
Is
you
It's like
Bad Breaks a monster? I'm confused.
Ooh, new person.
Is man
This
the
person
true
is definitely not
monster?
joining our party. I believe the name for this is, you know the name. Isn't it Judge Dredd?
Oh, yeah. 2D.
You're going to have to... 2D,
No
you have
space.
to no space it. Just like Green Aura.
That's good?
Yep.
Okay. My
In
name's
honor
Judge
of
Dredd.
a certain character's
law.
name.
We have the law and Judge Dredd.
Now, while this character is kind of interesting,
She's not particularly useful.
We don't really have a way to use her.
she's
anymore.
very angry.
Also very angry.
So for the most part, our party tends to be pretty set. We used Jeff for a little bit, but we're not going to be using him again. The only characters that we'll be using are the other four that we've seen really. So Judge Dredd, sorry, you're just going to not get used. And part of the reason is because we get her pretty late. She joins us at level 18.
The
she didn't-
levels don't scale.
Yeah, she didn't
it's
get
not-
the grind XP at all.
Exactly.
And for her to get anything kind of useful in terms of tech-wise, we'd have to go out of our way to get some drops for that, and that would just kind of add to the time. I know Freddie was actually working on a route to try to have her one of her triple techs, which would be better than the one that we're going to end up using. But in the end, it kind of ended up just being slower, just because you have to go out of your way to get that.
Yeah, it wasn't too out of the way, but it wasn't as good for killing the extra mobs as it was for the boss itself, unfortunately. Plus, you lose out some side benefits as well.
Because all this stuff that any of the fluxes that we've gotten, which I don't think we have any on Cyclone.
Yeah.
The game very much does encourage you to, at least in terms of a speedrun standpoint, stick with the things that you've been using, from the fluxation to having to go out of your way to get extra techniques.
And another quirk of this game is it likes to bring up the switch party menu when you don't have any people to switch your party into.
Well, yeah, whenever you get people joining or leaving your party, I'll be like, okay, here. I guess it's just kind of to show you here's the people in your party, but you can just take a look on, the people that are following you. No, sorry. Nope, sorry.
Now it's too late.
I'm sorry.
Do you usually get that Spirit Night here or later?
Spiritual Harmony, I'll tend to
Spiritual
get here.
Okay.
Which will, talk to the
Yeah.
guy. So part of the
When we go down
reason I mentioned early on in the game that I like to get the hexagonal pendants, or a particular item I got from the birds. Freddie likes to get it a little bit later. Part of the reason I like to get it early is just because I can get Spiritual Harmony, which is a support sprite in it, pretty identical to Combat Instinct, but instead of damage being tied to HP, damage is tied to MP. So in
So stack
my
the 3?
route, I have it for 2 extra fights. Not the biggest of differences, really. So it's kind of preference at this point. And I don't think we've done timing in terms of how faster, quote unquote, my way makes it in terms of fights.
Jeff wants to help the law.
Thank you, Bad Briggs, says the law.
Getting this ability is also my favorite part in speedrun notes ever. Because it says...
Whoa. You're getting
Okay.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
All right. I'll wait.
No, wait. We'll get to that point. First, we got to rescue the kid. Judge Dredd decided that really doesn't like monsters, and she's going to kill all the monsters nearby. They're going to go through that cave, kill everything. So we kind of bonded with that kid, and the law was like, look, we have to. This isn't right. We have to save the kid. So we go here, tell the kid to run away before he gets slaughtered by Judge Dredd.
I assume you just use Avarshina for the bushy kills as well?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I would
It's
just
so
do
It's just to
the.
save the menu time.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you'll have to remenu to put on.
Oh yeah, but you can do that when you tent for Daoshi.
It should
Right,
still
actually,
it should still kill with Blowbeat.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
I guess you'll find out.
Sorry, I'm doing slightly more takaze strats because...
Yeah, I tend to go for an item called Light Bit, which is most importantly for kind of the last hour.
Yep.
It does involve having to get another rare drop. Some people don't like going for it.
I
personally
avoid it. I think actually, Malgar, you said you don't get it either usually, right?
I try for it.
Yeah.
I don't go out of my way to get it. Like I don't farm up the rare drops. If I don't get it, I don't get it. But
Yeah, I don't like having to deal with the owls. Excuse me.
The law. Are you trying to get eaten? Sorry, the law.
So we'll want to get, in the end, we want 4 light kills on these snakes.
先を急ぎましょう
Kind of give it a free one here, and then at a point later on, they'll be, we'll find them kind of in packs, and we can get another 3 pretty easily.
Yep, and we have to kill them for another drop as well.
There's
We
actually
need
2.
overkills.
Yeah, that's right. We need overkills as well. There's 2 items that we get from essentially that we're getting out of the snakes that we'll see in the next town. And then after that section, I think we'll be mostly done with these drops. Now we can just not have to worry about it. So they're supposed to be having a banquet for us because, you know, we did such a good job at rescuing everybody. But Judge Dredd is getting a little heated, getting real upset.
You mentioned earlier, you know, that Headbury was your least favorite part. This is my least favorite part.
This is my other least favorite part, yes. Mostly just because lots of text.
Lots of text, not a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, it's the beetle fight is fairly straightforward just because, you know, we just finished a grind session and then it's just a lot of town stuff. Once we get out of here, there'll be, you know, a few bosses and we get to do pretty quickly back to back to each other.
Yep, picks up again. There's a little bit of story after that, but...
So, Jeff, being Jeff, released the information that the law is the sacrifice. And after what happened in Flonia Citadel, you know, we decided it would probably be a good idea to hide that information because, you know, bad things happened. And guess what? Bad things happened again.
So we talked to this guy that got smacked into a wall earlier.
Yeah.
He's still there for some reason. It
He's
was just
still
that
there.
hard of a smack.
So
It was
we
Judge Dredd,
asked,
so yeah.
what's up with Judge Dredd? Like, Judge Dredd went crazy for a second there. Uncontrollable rage. It's crazy powers. What's the deal? So he's like, well, there's a time where Judge Dredd went out to like save a knight or something like that and got lost for like a month. And we assumed Judge Dredd was dead. But Judge Dredd came back, and ever since then, Judge Dredd has not been the same. But there's a way to heal Judge Dredd, and we need to talk to this magic consortium guy. He has a way to heal Judge Dredd. At least he thinks he does, but we got to do him a favor.
You're not yourself. Have a Snickers.
Have
Yeah,
a Snickers.
that's what the secret potion is. Just a Snickers. That's why it doesn't. I won't say too much, I guess.
And this is just a lot of story dump.
Yeah, just talking.
We do a fight soon.
So we're basically going to be on a fetch quest of go over here.
Help me so.
Oh,
So much faster.
Again.
you can see the difference between using just a keyboard and just a controller.
My favorite notes: sell everything, obtain spiritual
Combat
harmony.
Spiritual harmony.
Oh, spiritual.
Yeah, we already have combat instinct.
That's right. That was earlier.
So combat instinct and spiritual harmony pretty similar to each other. I mentioned combat instinct deals extra damage based on HP. Spiritual harmony does extra damage based on MP. Again, we'll be giving it to Endear, so we just got another damage boost for him. And they all just stack up with each other. It's great.
We have a $45 anonymous donation. Great runner, great game. Good luck on the run. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just want to, if you're just joining us, this is RPG Limit Break 2017. Here in Salt Lake City, we are supporting NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. They advocate, they educate, and they listen to people's problems. Head over to NAMI.org or use the hashtag StigmaFree on Twitter to join the conversation. You're watching I Am Setsuna right now. We're getting close to about halfway through the run, it looks like.
About that.
Co-op run with Takaze and Freddeh here. There's some inklings in the chat that you guys are on pretty good pace here.
This is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I was trying to know exactly where we're at for pace, but we've had good luck, so I imagine our pace is not terrible.
Like I mentioned, a lot of, at least in the first half of the run, is really making sure to get that good RNG. This is going to be the last rare drop we need coming up here soon, so hopefully with a little bit of extra luck, we'll get it, and then we just need to, I guess, execute after that.
In terms of incentives we have going on during this run, you can name the Luminaire skill coming up. I think that's coming up sometime pretty soon here. Ish.
45 minutes-ish?
45 minutes?
somewhere
Okay, so you
around
have a little bit of time to put your donation in for that to name the skill that they'll be using. And we also have the final form Samsara, which is the hardest form of the final boss. We still have quite a bit to go for that. We have $65.16 out of 500. We want to see that, so get your donations in by the end of the run here to make that happen.
It looks like Luminaire will still catch us red-handed.
Oh boy. So I would like to see the final form. Freddie, that was Freddie's idea, and we kind of both worked on that a little bit. And I thought it was impossible at first.
Right before the marathon, I just started grinding. I need to figure this out because we have it in the marathon soon.
Yeah, because I had tried it out.
I'm like, okay, this is difficult. Yeah.
It wasn't working, and then we found a consistent setup where it wouldn't be completely bad, but it's not a guaranteed fight.
We found the consistent setup is really the right word for it because it just ended up being the same setup as the speedrun, which is very convenient.
I mean, it's different than the way I do the
I mean, I approach the fight a little bit differently than I would in the speedrun, but it's really not that much different overall. Like, I don't have to actually farm anything extra. I only like to pick up a little bit extra items.
We'll be like, there's no extra drops that we need to get, so we'll kind of be doing like normal speedrun strats for it. So we're not like, oh, we're gonna have to grind extra levels. We're gonna have to get a bunch of new things. No, we'll just be going to like speedrun strats. Let's do this. It's a little scary when sometimes things can just one-shot you.
So because it's a marathon, if you want to see the guys die a bunch, get your dollars in.
It could happen. It could happen.
We are kind of tired, to be fair.
At
least I am.
I've been up for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure we all have.
So we gave the Snickers, or secret medicine, or whatever it was, to Judge Dredd, and Judge Dredd is feeling a little bit better. Kind of remembers what happened, and now is going to be so thankful that we helped her out. She's going to want to join our party.
Judge Dredd is once again on the side of the law.
And she'll take a seat in the background because we don't miss her, unfortunately.
She joins the party, but she doesn't do much.
She's a follower.
Yeah, it's
she
really
just tries to
unfortunate
uphold law.
that party members don't join at levels based on your own. That would make things a little more interesting, I believe.
It would certainly make it so that it would definitely be more incentive for us to try to find some way to squeeze her into strats, but she's behind 10 levels essentially. It makes it a little bit harder to do that.
Yep. Fresh was only level 17. Jeez.
And the entire point of going to that town was to find someone to get us across this ice flow.
So that's what Judge Red.
So we finally now have done that and can continue on our journey to sacrifice.
And we're coming up on the 2nd hour here. So as we're going to be splitting this into quarters again, I'll take over after the next boss fight for the 3rd hour.
Yep. Yeah, that's an interesting spot to have gotten caught twice, and usually I can skip that fight without any issue, but
Just another kind of
randomness of this game.
little bit of RNG. Sometimes it plays in our favor. I think we've actually been doing a pretty good job of avoiding fights in general.
Overall, yeah.
We still have a decent amount of fog stones.
Yeah,
Because we still haven't...
We still have to kill a bunch
we
of things.
still
coming
we
up,
haven't run
so
out yet. And that's an easy way to remember. So I tend to like to.
I try to keep 9 at after this section for Archimel. Why?
If you get into the fight, you can always kill it because we do need the bird drop.
Yeah.
I don't like trying to do these on the singles though.
That's true. So in the first screen, we want to get. There's the bunny enemies are called Chocolilies. We want their rare drop. This first screen they only come in packs of 1 with something else, and the second screen they come in packs of 2s, and I think there's a pack of 3 hidden in there too. So that's generally where I like to. Once I get to this pack of 2 screen, let's start praying.
Got a tent before this, but it's okay. I'll just use ethers. We have a lot extra.
Also, guess what happened?
Yeah, changing weapon is also useful because they are immune to light damage. That's why you don't want to have Arashina here. Well,
we have plenty of ethers.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Let's get those, and now we can do damage.
We'll need to put on the Crimson Lotus for the before
Yeah.
the next boss anyway. So. Let's see if we can get it.
Can't even remember the item name.
It's Bushy Tail.
Bushy tail.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Another shock. Look at that 4 shock for combo power.
Yeah, so those combo power added to the shock are just going to make our blade beats a little bit stronger. Not particularly relevant as our main damage first is going to be kind of an extra.
It'll help the next fight.
It'll help a bit. Blade beat's pretty good in the next fight. I don't see it.
See, I told you. Every time.
This is a marathon, okay?
I think this is our last chance on the way.
No, there's
one more.
There's
Is there?
I think 2 more. If we want to go out of our way.
I mean, yeah, we can go out of our way for it, but I mean, on the way.
Nope.
Is there one to the left, I think?
Straight up.
Straight up. Straight up's the boss, isn't it?
No, not quite. We'll get to the save point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
And of course, one of them's a bird.
Yeah, so the bird actually, quote unquote, ate one of our bunnies. So we'll only have
Yeah,
one chance.
this one's the one. I can feel it.
Feel it. You feel it, I feel it.
I don't feel it.
We got a lot of stuff there, and no bushy tail, I see.
Okay, it wasn't the one.
So if we go down here, there'll be a pack of 3. Then we can, if you want to save, and we can kind of push this up. That'd probably be the easiest way to do it.
Do what? Oh.
Use the save point.
I was just gonna leave this on the re-enter.
You can do that too. Each way is probably about the same.
Yeah, just do it after the fight.
How close is that? Pretty close.
Oh, 1
1
damage.
HP. Oh boy.
Good timing.
Not that we're in any danger of anything bad happening.
No, it's just
It's just annoying.
Okay, didn't get it. Didn't get it.
I
So we'll
told you,
just
every
do
time.
the boss fight. We got a save point, heal up, eat some food, put on spiritual harmony,
Oh yes.
and do the fight.
Man, we're out of tents already.
We're out of tents.
Used a lot of tents early on. Oh,
We have one left. We have one left. When we only need.
all we need is 1, but
Yeah.
then we need 2. Spiritual harmony. Could need 1 before Archimel. Actually, I guess you don't need 1 for Archimel with this strat, do you?
So this is one of the pretty much only boss fight where they'll come with helpers. And guess what? Remember how Lobby does extra damage if things are close enough to each other? that was a lot of numbers. King Hoppy here took a lot of damage from that blue.
Nah, too late. Yeah, he did.
And this is kind of a cakewalk.
Yeah, because Bloby did like half its HP, we can finish it off before it gets to take a turn. I really can't imagine that was like Bloby is supposed to work like that. So, interesting thing. I wasn't sure if we'd actually get to talk about it. So singularities, you saw the thing in the top left corner for a second there. Singularities are a random thing that can happen whenever you take an action, and it'll last for so many seconds. That was elemental inflation, I believe. And all that really does is just gave us all
the drops.
All the elemental drops.
Yeah. Well, it our damage will be all elemental damage. So in some fights, that's pretty important. That would be better, just because it's like, oh, well, you're now doing its weakness because you're hitting its element. So we need this bushy tail. We need this. We've had really good RNG. Now we're having a little bit of bad RNG. So I need to convince these two that going for light bit is definitely worth it.
Not doing a great job, honestly.
Okay. So it's only happened once.
There it
Bushy
is.
tail, we got it, finally.
Okay. Now
That
we
wasn't
move on.
that bad.
I think I can hand this over to you.
Yeah.
You should have enough mana for one Blau beat, which is all we need for the next zone. So you shouldn't have to 10.
And we have plenty of
And we have a
ethers.
lot of ethers. So. And we're going to be buying more after this zone. So
Yeah, our first shop to really benefit from the grinding that we did and all the money that we got.
We do need to spend a lot of money in the next section.
fortunately, the grinding gave us a lot of extra money because we
I'm
basically
gonna
capped
ask
out
for
a few
help.
different items.
Push the button. Push the button. I swear, pushing the button, just like in real life when you push a button from an elevator, if you push the button a lot, it totally comes faster.
It's definitely what happens.
Definitely happens, just like in real life.
Here, listen, think.
Nope. Green Oran, nobody heard a voice.
Green Orange hearing voices again. Jeez.
So at some point, I'll need to kill these snakes, but I want to find a pack of 3 of them before I do so. I got one. Freddie got one transparent blade from a light kill from one of these snakes, and I'll need another 3.
Did you
Don't
equip?
forget to, yeah.
The Avarshina. I
Yeah.
will do so.
So this starts the ruin part of dungeons in here. That's fun. That's only 2, so we're just gonna focus one out of this.
How many
And you're
touchdowns
not-
we have?
I think 8 or 9.
Okay.
I had left.
Yeah, you're fine on that.
Should be plenty.
But you should equip
Unless
the weapon.
you can't dodge anything, which is very possible because it's
Whoa.
random.
Freddie calling me out.
I am just saying, mobs like to run in your way. And it didn't. See, you're fine.
Gonna hit the switch. So just a lot of bridges that we have to make. Got a little mazy. I guess I can take this one. No, I'm not gonna take this one because it's not getting in my way. There will be others that get in my way.
Watch it get in your way anyway.
Yeah, watch it get in my way. No, see, it's
We're
perfect.
fine. Yeah, there's another 3 pack down here that usually is more likely to get in your way.
So Blue Frost just being another sword we pick a friend here. It's water property. As Freddie mentioned, we end up getting a lot of weapons that for Endir that just give us a wide variety of elements to work with. We mostly picked that one up just because it's a little more powerful in terms of its like just base attack power. And aside from the sprite nets that we've been talking about, how they give us a huge boost, for the most part, levels themselves don't give us a huge boost in terms of our damage output. A lot of it does come from a new weapon.
Weapons and sprite nines. So.
Oh,
Yeah. By the way.
yeah, I'm gonna have to menu.
Yeah.
So again, he plays a memory cursor. I tend to not, so I'm gonna take that. So that should have gotten me my overkill and my 3
Transparent blades, yep.
transparent blades.
We got some deadly venom, which I believe is the other item we need. I found that out by not getting it in testing one time. And yeah, we should basically be good for everything we need with the exception of 1 item for 1 last skill.
行くぜここで終わるわけにはいかない
先を急ぎましょう
You know what, I'm a little disappointed. I don't think I've heard Setsuna say
Daijobu.
or sorry, the law say stuff about being Daijobu a whole lot. Which is something I usually watch out for.
I heard it right at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about it at the beginning, so I didn't hear it.
So the law likes to say, like, ask everybody, if everybody's okay. Ask if everybody is Daijobu.
So Green Oran and Bad Breaks are taken to
This
this
place?
area.
I mean, they're just having like a dream sequence.
Yeah.
Really, we're inside Oran's head.
There's actually snow everywhere. Even inside Orin's head, there is snow everywhere. Which I guess is better than water everywhere, like other Orin.
That's true. That's true. So basically, we just get to a little bit of backstory for Orin. We mentioned earlier that he was part of the previous sacrifice as his journey, and they actually failed. And here we get to see a little bit about what happened. So here we have the sacrifice, and the sacrifice's sister. And maybe they look familiar, maybe they don't. We're good. We're good.
You just accidentally unplug it.
Yeah, controller got unplugged for a second there.
Okay, I'll just go away. I won't worry about it.
It says something about not being a legit PS3 controller, but this is definitely a legit PS3 controller. It's Freddie's, so I don't know, blame him or something.
I used it. It works on PS3, I swear.
Yeah, maybe you can look at it and see.
It
If
says
you can
Sony.
zoom in here, it's Sony DualShock 3. It's red.
Maybe that's why it's not black. It's-
Does that make your
Likes
text
red better.
mashing? Does that make your text mashing speed 3 times faster?
I mean,
That's
it
what
is-
I'm here
it
for.
is- yeah, it is right now.
In reference to some of our incentives.
the burning finger.
Oh.
So yeah, this one you literally just kind of run forward a bit, and then more cutscene happens.
This game is really fond of doing story dumps in big chunks.
I mean, I think it actually does a pretty good job of its pacing. It doesn't do... I mean, there's kind of 2 points where it's the pacing could be a little bit better, but in general, I think the game has pretty good pacing. There's stuff to do in between, and it's not like, okay, now you have an hour of nothing but story. This is
So
a pretty quick
fast.
section. Yeah, jeez. This is going to be unbeatable.
Say, like, if this does PB, it's purely because of this text
Yeah.
skip speed.
Yeah,
So-
that's not insignificant.
So it's like, it's going to be a co-op PB.
Yeah, it will be.
It will
Wow,
definitely be
yeah.
a co-op PB.
Make sure to
considering
get
it's the
that
first
on
one.
the leaderboards.
Uncontested world record.
Super competitive category.
The good thing about all these story dumps is there's generally good music playing at whatever point.
Oh, by the way, the law happens to be Green Oran's daughter. As you can kind of tell, look at little the law. Oh, so cute.
This is my daughter. Her name is The Law.
The law.
Jeez, Green Oran, you're a horrible father.
You abandoned the law.
All right, so nobody else knew what happened. Only Bad Breaks and Green Oran took place in that. And
Thank you. And, sorry, Jeff likes to make fun of people.
yeah,
Typical.
Jeff's is
Particularly Green Oran.
Particularly Green Orange.
So we're not going to say Brad Breaks is going to be a kind guy and not break the news about the law being the daughter to Green Oran. Because we're in the middle of the journey. We got things to do.
It's your story now.
So my routing with not getting those extra pendants on the beach, I will get them here instead of the next fight coming up.
Because there'll be some black flappers.
Yeah.
And the way a lot of the drops will end up working is that it's kind of broken into species. So you can notice that these black flappers are pretty identical to the white flappers, except they're black. So they have the same, most of the same drops, with the exception of the rare drops being different. I'm going to go up here and pick up this elixir.
Oh, that elixir, okay.
That elixir. Just for a little bit of safety if one of the later fights just goes a little bit awry.
And it's almost on the way.
Of course.
Yeah.
I might be... It's kind of going to be pushing my fog stones here.
Yeah, you
They
usually come
basically
really
run,
close. As long as you have enough, and even if you
Wait,
don't.
what's that going?
Ooh. And that is one of the
Yep.
downsides to these areas.
It's easy
This
to
one
forget
first,
to
and
activate
then
the bridge.
yeah, this like particular bridge always is kind of like, oh yeah, because you think because there's a kind of a two-part bridge section coming up here in the next zone, but a lot of
There
times
are
we get ahead of ourselves.
There are a few dungeons with the sort of ruined tile set,
Yeah,
and it's really easy to just be like, I have no idea which way I'm going in this particular dungeon, without putting an effort in to learn specifically where you go when.
So, again, just going to be racing some
Jerk
bridges here.
birds.
Jerk birds.
すぐに片付ける
a lot of these you usually have to fogstone regardless, just because they're in the way.
先を急ぎましょう
These rooms are particularly
Yep.
small, and there's 4 enemies.
Yep, and you have to run through the area twice.
And also, Bad Bricks doesn't really have MP to do much here, and the other two don't really do a lot of damage on their own.
I mean, I'll probably, if I can't dodge this one.
There's only 2 left. How many fogstones do you have? 2.
this is-
Perfect. We have exactly
is-
enough fogstones.
Well, I'd prefer to keep the fogstones in place. So, an unfortunate thing is I can't
Yeah.
actually reorder the item menu in battle. I can reorder it in the main menu. So I'm gonna because I don't like the menu getting changed. I'm just gonna kill this fight.
Another reason I like memory. Don't have to worry about that as much.
That's true.
We have a $25 donation from Frazif. Getting hyped for Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm really feeling it.
Yes, it's about that.
See, I don't think he actually says that in that game, by the way. That's all Smash Bros.
Alright, so we see a save point. Guess what's coming up? It's a boss.
What? Never.
Oh, you already got that.
Yep.
Hail Beam. It's our last one. Our last tent, too. Oh, boy.
And
I'll just save just to title.
and
It's completely
Interestingly, in dungeons, the tents don't always, especially ruined dungeons, it seems like, the tents don't actually, like, make you go to sleep or something. It just heals you.
I mean, who would want to go to sleep in a dungeon?
It's a good point.
So, this is the 3rd time that we
That's-
see the Reaper.
Now it's time for the doctor to get involved, as she is apt to do.
Yeah, where's this move? Like, look at this. What move is this? What is that?
I want that move.
Yeah. That would be nice to have. Jeff and the doctor are holding out on us.
はい
So, same setup. This is kind of the last fight that tends to be a little bit on the easy side, and everything after this, the grinding grinding isn't nearly as impactful as before. I do want to make sure to keep an eye on what this guy is doing, because he has a transform move that gets him to start absorbing a bunch of HP. So a situation like that's not particularly great. I'm going to play it a little bit safe.
Oh, he's not absorbing anything.
Yeah, he hasn't. I haven't broken that HP barrier at this point. So his next move is going to be absorb, and ideally I can kill him before he gets another turn off.
Should be good. Be close.
That was almost bad.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There we
But
go.
Green Orange can finish.
So that's the way we want to set up the fight. Ideally, you want it to have gotten a miss there, but we want to make sure that he does the absorb, and then before he can do anything scary after that, we kill him. Because he'll actually absorb will basically give him like lifesteal, and he'll start getting quite a bit of HP back. And it's kind of you kind of saw I was getting a little low there. If you happen to kill somebody off like Bad Breaks, I don't have any damage anymore, and he's healing, and it becomes a really scary fight if things just don't go my way. That's, why I saved, just in case if there was another miss in there, I very easily could have died.
While we're heading off to the next town, can we get an update on our remaining incentives?
Sure thing. Just give me 1 second here. Let me refresh. Are we getting close to
A little
Luminaire?
bit.
We still have some time.
This is the town we get it in, but we have to go out and do things
Yeah.
and then come back.
So I'd probably say at least another half an hour. So that's a good guesstimate, probably.
Roughly a half hour, yeah.
There'll be 2 more bosses.
Well, for the final fight, final form of Samsara, we have $110.16 out of 500 to get that done. That'll be open until the end of the game. Want to get your dollars in for that for sure. We have a skill naming incentive for Luminaire, and that should be coming up sometime soon-ish. Right now we have $58 on Burning Finger. Jeff at $26, that went up, and $10 on Shining Finger, and $1 for Taiho.
So all the things. I'm gonna pick up a few things here.
Hey, if you can notice our gold total.
Resonance Light Bet and Destined Cycle, and I believe that's it because I already had Spiritual Harmony.
Can't get battle credit.
I'm going to. You typically buy
1 and 8.
9?
Or 9. 9's fine.
Yeah,
We have
fine.
money.
Okay. He'll be doing the last section, so I want to check with him like
Yeah.
how much he usually needs. I love these. Big stack of these. That's probably enough, right?
I usually buy those last one because I know how much money we need.
Yeah, we need about 18,000 at the end of here.
Yeah.
20 of these. Looks pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah, you can buy a few more if you want.
Potions? Or
Uh,
let's
waters.
buy.
Or more
waters.
Fogstones, yeah. We can stop and buy some more later, too, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should be good.
Mid potions I never use, really.
Just,
Other than the next fight, but yeah.
just in case. So I want to buy this.
Adelhidus, Phantasma.
And this and this.
Yep.
We have $5 donation from Reza NL. No comment, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next game as well, I might as well mention, is Xenoblade Chronicles. I guess we got that from the previous donations there, but we have 2 bid incentives. One is for performing the Melancholy Tyria side quest, and $95 out of 1,000 for that one. That's a big one. And Japanese voice acting. Is this a? Yes, it's a bid war. So we have $120 for English and $50 for Japanese for the voice acting.
So it's getting a new round of weapons for everybody. I'm gonna not equip them immediately because I just don't need to. There's only one more drop that I'm gonna need in the run, and that's gonna be in a little, maybe 20 minutes or so. So thankfully we can put all the rare drops
yeah.
behind us.
I was trying to think of what that was, which is kind of ironic, but I'll say why when we get there.
Yeah. These of all people. So, we mentioned at the beginning of the run that the choices you make and some of the dialogue options don't matter in terms of the speedrun, but sometimes there is some amusing text that happens, and a lot of the text ends up being Eterna, or rather the doctor, kind of scolding you or making fun of you because she'll ask a question and then you'll give a really dumb answer, and she's just like, what's wrong with you?
You silly person. Yeah,
We did see another owl there.
I didn't even know that owls could replace that monster, actually.
I think owls can replace any
Really?
Non-boss monster.
Yeah, like
Huh.
non-sprite eating monsters.
Right.
Yeah, that too.
So we went in there and are coming back because there's like a wall, but there's like a magical barrier on it that we can't quite get past. We're going to talk to the old lady. Old ladies know stuff. And Judge Dredd, what is wrong with you?
She happens to be a healer type person.
Who else do we know that is a healer type person?
Whoa, now you guys are.
Getting ahead a bit there.
Yeah,
Give
jeez.
us at least, a minute or 30
Are
seconds.
you trying to spoil it for chat?
I'm just saying.
Judge Dredd has left your party.
Again? Jeez.
Another reason we don't use Julian / Judge Dredd is she does leave our party a few times. I think there'd be one boss that we
It'd be very difficult.
would like we wouldn't have her in if we tried to make some sort of route with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be that's actually a pretty annoying fight,
Which is unfortunately one of the reasons we would want to try use her.
definitely.
but since we can't use her for that fight, there's no point.
So this old lady healed you. By the way, hi, tell us about that barrier you set up. So we're starting to ask the question, what are you, old lady? This is like a chakram thing over here. What's that? What's that? Who has chakram? Oh wait, sorry, the law has chakram. So you end up putting two together. Old lady can heal, sacrifice can heal. Old lady has chakrams. The law has chakrams. So she was a previous sacrifice, and as she tells you, she also failed. And she set up that barrier to kind of like seal away a monster that's really, really scary. And we want to get past this area so we can get to the Lost Lands, as we need to go under some mountains. And there's like some magical, other magical barriers that are blocking our path just from being able to walk over there, like over land. And you might have seen on the map, there's like these purple walls just sprouting up out of nowhere. So we have to take this like under the mountain path.
Fortunately, the monster that's hiding behind this happened to also control the barrier.
Convenient.
It's very convenient indeed. It's also, the boss coming up is actually one of the harder bosses in the game because it can put out a lot of damage very quickly.
Yeah, it's a real fast monster, and we'll
Cutscene.
Cutscene. It does a lot of single target damage, and it has enough HP. It's not like some of the earlier fights where it has like, oh, it's just 1,000 HP. It has like almost 3,000, I think. It just takes its turns so fast. It can easily get 2 turns off before like Eterna can get a turn off, and Eterna is supposed to, or sorry, the doctor.
The doctor.
And she's like supposed to be the fast character. And then if you compare to like Auron over here, Auron's really slow, and he can easily get 3 turns off by the time Auron can get a single turn off.
The next boss is also immune to slow, which doesn't help.
Yeah, he's real resistant to a lot of stuff.
To most status effects.
I'll still be trying to see if I can get a little lucky with my status effects, but if it happens, great. Good RNG. If it doesn't, oh well, I'll deal with it.
We can handle it. Yep, this is one of the few fights where we actually really utilize Provoke on and use Auron as a real tank.
And the sword that I bought, haven't put on yet for Auron, actually gives him like 100 extra HP.
Extra HP, yeah.
And new weapons also do add to your resistances as well. So that's one of the reasons we want to make sure to buy new weapons here, just because it definitely helps out a little bit in this fight, because he does just so much damage.
Yep.
He really does.
We have a $25 donation from Alpa Cami Bags. Good luck with the run, Takaze, but I actually need you to pause and fix a build for me.
Oh boy.
Thanks, man.
That's one of my coworkers. My job. I'm supposed to be at work, guys. Thanks, Alpaca, my bag. Yeah, he went there. He has alpacas.
Gotcha.
So
If he had to change locations,
don't. Whatever you're about to do, just don't.
Cat at the top, yeah.
So this first time we use a Purica Cobbler Salad to give us this HP. Oh, and I forgot to equip weapons first.
you have a few mid potions you could use.
It's 60 HP, it's fine.
You light bit. I have to move you down here. Resonance. You get the Dusted Cycle. And
You already used it?
I
Mid
need
potion.
to mid potion. Yeah. And I'll save.
Definitely save.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Okay, here we go.
So this guy is Aurorian Tiger. As we mentioned, he's real fast, does a lot of single target damage. So it really just comes down to trying to get most of the damage onto Green Auron. Keep bad breaks as healthy as possible, and make sure. Oh, great start.
As healthy as possible.
That's one of the worst attacks you can do.
That just did half my HP.
Fix that.
Nice stun.
You get stun
Stun
anchored.
will reset the ATB bar of an enemy. Confusion has that damage reflect property.
You'd see, even with his ATB reset, he still took a turn before anybody else. And that's what really makes this guy dangerous.
Okay,
He does various elemental attacks. Some of them are better than others.
I guess
I'm
now
just
we're
gonna-
attacking Ender. Shouldn't need to heal again. And there goes mishaps. There goes half of his health.
Gonna wait a second here, just for some momentum. Fight's not going too badly so far.
One more X strike, so just need to survive till then.
Can we live?
Should
I'd like to
heal.
live one turn.
Should be good. Yeah,
Nice.
secrets.
Yeah.
Okay. Should give him enough time to finish him off.
Should, yeah.
Unless we miss, then things will get hairy. But we'll be fine.
This is Daijobu.
Everything is going according to Keikaku.
Yeah.
There we
Right.
go. Perfect.
So that fight can be really frustrating if he decides to just not cooperate. Like if he decides to spend some time just wailing on Turna or the doctor. She's pretty squishy, and he can easily two-shot her. And then I'd have to spend time making sure to get her up so I can actually get my X strikes off. By the way, what's wrong with Judge Dredd?
Oh, yeah, she's going crazy again.
Super
It's okay.
Saiyan.
She got this. She's actually very useful in this speedrun.
Yeah, I mean, we
Destroys
wouldn't be able to beat this fight without her.
I'm reminded of the damage numbers post-fight in 13.
So with the Roaring Tiger dead, hey look, the dimensional barriers are gone. And we forget pretty quickly what Judge Dredd did. Like, hey, you went like Super Saiyan for a second there. Are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. What's up?
Go on. We're fine.
And we're like, okay. I mean, she says she's fine.
What are you guys talking about? You guys are crazy.
I'm fine.
Another owl.
It's getting close to the most owls I've seen in a run, that's for sure.
I haven't actually ever counted.
Yeah.
I think the most I've seen is 14.
So again, just to reiterate why we're kind of like, ooh, look. There's a random, like, kind of quote random encounters. They just will randomly show up and take a place of another monster. So we just get to play a little game of like, ooh, let's see how many we get.
Yeah, that bear is another Spirit Knight eaten monster, and it's a little rough.
Yeah,
Better to dodge.
The single encounter ones are actually pretty rough just because we can't abuse Blowbeat for, Blowbeat doing 1 million damage on multiple enemies.
Plus, they're just really strong.
There's another technique that we could abuse on them if we were fighting them, but we're not.
Is the law alright?
I mean, the law said she's Daijobu.
It's fine then.
Actually, she said, I'm fine.
The law remembers everything.
So this is a trek up a mountain. It's a little mazy, and it's kind of can be a little confusing to navigate just because, you're going up a snow mountain, and it's very easy to get yourself
It's
lost.
a very big area.
It's big. A lot of these little quote-unquote rooms look the same. I'm just
Oop,
gonna
wrong
take it.
direction.
油断しないで仕方ないわ
At a certain point, it's faster to just quickly fog zone than try to run all the way around to maybe make it fast.
Yeah.
Unless you're really trying to conserve your fog stones for some
Right,
reason.
which we're definitely not.
Yeah,
We have extra.
60 some.
If you have the
of
MP and
course.
healing
記事
items,
の片付ける
well, MP healing items, ethers, and you can one-shot
先
things,
を急ぎましょう
sometimes it can be beneficial to try and get combo power on Cyclone, but
It would take time, and it's definitely not
Yeah.
guaranteed.
It's not
Let's
really
see if
worth
I can
it.
make this. It's
That's
gonna
not gonna
happen.
make it.
Not gonna happen. He's walrus guy.
ここで終わるわけにはいかない
Same family as the Walloompas at the
これぐらいでやられる俺じゃないぜ
Just very large and just have a huge hitbox.
depending on what drops you get and whether you decide to farm things, sometimes getting combo power can be a little bit more beneficial, but we're pretty stacked to
Oh,
the
hey.
teeth.
Hello.
Another owl.
Another-
All the owls.
I think we're at 6 or 7 at this point.
At least.
I'm sure Lena's counting.
I hope so.
Probably.
And as I mentioned in my earlier run, I can't. Why am I going this way? I can't count past 3. Jeez, why did I try to go left?
ガンガン行こう。
Madness.
先を急ぎましょう。
Counting is hard in English, as Wanzig will tell you.
敵さんのお出ましだぜ。力を貸すとし。これぐらいでやられる俺じゃないぜ。
And we're just basically making our way through, and this is a really large area.
Yeah,
Wrong way.
this way.
Yep.
It's like
As
first,
few
second, third.
fights as possible, because there isn't actually much else to do here than run up and then run back down it.
As far as sort of these quote-unquote random encounters that are just scattered all over the place, we only really need one more for a drop, and that's...
And
we're
after-
almost there.
Yeah, after we get that drop, we're really just
There's no
Running
point
away
to
from
fighting
everything.
any of them.
See, this one like to trick you. There's a save point, like there's going to be a boss here,
they get you.
and then there's not.
So that's well done by them.
A series of cutscenes
They,
will play.
they do this pretty well. Look,
Said cutscene.
look at the last lance. We're there, guys. We're there. Wait a second. How are we gonna get there? Oh, by the way,
Well then,
obligatory floating continent. I guess it's not quite a continent, but
good thing that airship blew up earlier.
yeah. So this is gonna be tricky. There's supposed to be a stretch of land that we could just walk over there, but for whatever reason, there's not anymore. And even the doctor isn't sure. The doctor has known everything this run. Like, hey, just listen to me. I'll get you through things.
And the doctor was so confused, she just disappeared.
Judge Dredd. Oh man, I wanted to protect the law. You decided to attack Judge Dredd.
Must kill the law.
The last time
Get
the
back
doc-
the law. Oh, okay, she just punched herself.
the last time the doctor did that, it was on a beach.
Does this mean we get a new doctor? Will she look different?
We'll just have to wait and see.
Stay tuned for next season.
Which one do you think it'll be?
So, we're sad again. And the law, stand up. The law has been pretty peppy throughout this whole run and being real cheery and like, hey, I'll get through this. This is the first time we kind of see her, like, kind of show a side of, hey, this isn't Daijobun. So we kind of have to pick her up and be like, look, we can do this. Never give up.
Never
Trust
surrender?
your instincts. Use the boost to get through.
Oh. Do a barrel roll.
力を貸すとし。終わりだな。
No, wait, go straight down, don't I? No.
Nope. You were right the first time.
Yeah, I was right the first time. Go down here.
Left, then down, and then left.
left again.
Yep. Go straight down in the next couple drops. Not this one, though.
Luckily, there are some shortcuts. So we did mention earlier, like
Yeah.
when it's
Much
there's some
quicker.
times
これ
there's
ぐ
you
らいでやら
have
れる俺じゃないぜ。
to go back and like up something and then down something. They tend to give you these little shortcuts.
It's probably the most beneficial.
Yeah,
of
like
all
we
the
go
shortcuts.
from like the middle to like the beginning of this room, and then there'll be 2 shortcuts we can take in this next area.
Go basically get to the beginning again.
Can I avoid these guys? Hug the wall. Hug the wall. Okay. I did it.
Ooh,
That's always pretty close.
that crab was coming for you.
Unfortunately, we can't take this shortcuts on the way up. That would be really great.
Would be nice.
It's an adventuring party, but nobody has any rope.
I mean,
They really are ill prepared, to be fair.
to be fair, they probably didn't expect to do any mountain climbing.
They're in a land full of snow and mountains. How do they not have, like, ice climbing
We were
shoes?
supposed to get an airship like 2 hours ago. Okay.
But you have to climb on the airship. Like, there's masts. It's
Uh,
cold and snowy. It's going to be a really slippery mast.
So who do you talk to when everything's looking down? You're just gonna talk to an old lady and she'll.
Grandma will fix you back
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
Okay, so we kind of, the law is pepped up again. Good. We need the law to be happy and, back to being the law we all know and love.
And the law is almost useful.
The law is going to be starting to be used pretty quickly here. I would
Speaking
say.
of
Couple more
pretty
fights.
quickly, yeah.
We
Not
have
this
a,
quickly, but
We have a little bit, maybe 10 minutes for the Luminaire cutoff, probably. Is
Again?
This is,
Okay, we'll
okay,
do
I
a
got this.
we'll do a refresh pretty soon here for that.
Yeah, this is like a pretty loose cable. Let me make sure that. Luckily, plug it back right back in.
Yeah.
Those pop-ups will go away. So I'll try to just do a really careful job of not touching this.
Yeah, I've not really had much issue with it. That's weird. And again, usually I'm not quite that stretched out.
So, old lady tells us about some weird-looking guy looking for some spriteness, and then we put our heads together and be like, it's probably that weird shipwright guy. And hey, if he's doing some stuff, that might be something involving an airship. So let's go find him.
Do you think the ship right can fix the ship we left?
I mean, he'd be useful, but why would he
How
be
does-
out this direction? It doesn't make any
Did,
sense.
did you? Are you turning these off? These puns?
What?
Yeah, you are.
No, no. I'm.
It's like ignoring them.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I wish I could turn them off.
I mean, this is basically just another big story dump.
I mean, a little bit. So they'll tell us, hey, we need an airship because we can't fly. And she's like, hey, well, I'm trying to fix the airship. And so you may be wondering, well, how is this guy wandering around an area filled with monsters? Well, don't worry. The game has you covered. He actually says that he covered himself in feces to make himself smell bad, so the monsters just leave him alone.
Hence the sort of pig pen effect on his
Yeah.
Yep.
character model.
We
some
can't
plot
do
holes
that.
don't need to be filled.
Become Pigpen and no monsters want to eat you.
Why-
Or hide in a tent full of fruit. That apparently also works.
Why can't we do that for the speedrun?
We have tents. We just gotta put them up.
Metal Gear Setsuna, or Metal Gear The Law.
敵さんのお出ましだぜ
Does sound like a spin-off comic.
もう怖いものは何もないこれぐらいでや
So
られ
as they
る
were
俺じゃ
mentioning
ないぜ
before, we do have the bid incentive for the skill name for Luminaire. We have Burning Finger at $58, Jeff at $26, Shining Finger at $10, and Taiho at $1. So depending on what meme you want, get your money in for that. That'll be pretty soon here.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, depending on what we get, we might have a little bit of fun with it. Depending on what sort of references you can make us do.
Might. We definitely have nothing prepared.
Did
at all.
you get the?
I have nothing prepared.
Did you end up getting the kill for the item?
He does it on
I
the back,
usually do.
yeah.
it.
Oh, okay.
So this will be another part I save. I'm gonna get the law back in my party. I'm going to heal.
Why don't even bother getting her back in the party for these fights?
I do it for safety, but I am going to need your help for something other than text mashing.
Oh yeah.
We got a neat little trick coming up, and it's.
Oh.
I can't believe I did that. Oh, I hate that.
Oh,
when
did you
it's-
forget I talked to the thing?
So
Or-
there's a
yeah.
cutscene that I quote unquote skipped, and it's really frustrating because
You can just kind of go past
you
it.
can
yeah.
kind of go past it and not even realize that you skipped it.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I figured it happened.
So I have to go back and make sure to hit it, or else I can't continue. Oh, there's what 8.
We gotta get more owls. It's fine. Ortiz is not too far of a run, but it's definitely time loss.
It's just in that.
Other way.
I can do this.
You should be fine, yeah. Unless that one decides
Yeah.
it hates you.
Not
It is.
worth.
ここで終わるわけにはいかない終わりだね
The monsters do like to troll you sometimes, and
well spread out.
yeah.
Everybody guard the exit.
So you just gotta kind of walk up to this and do like
Yeah.
a shortcut scene.
Yeah. Which is a little
Cute.
annoying because all it's doing is telling us about this giant crest, and if the characters correctly put together, hey, isn't that the same crest that Judge Dredd has.
You can
this
also-
cutscene-
I see. It even like doesn't let you leave it do it.
Yeah, like it forces you like, hey, you have to watch this cutscene, but you can only watch. It only forces you to watch this cutscene if you see the first cutscene.
Yep.
So all I did was cut over the cross because I'm trying to go fast here, and I just didn't get close enough to the first cutscene trigger, and it's not the first time I've done that.
Yeah, me either.
I think I once forgot to talk to the shipwright.
Oh, when it initially going through.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
What's the menu button? 1?
J.
Owl.
J. Right.
J.
Pause.
Yeah,
is
you can, I
one.
mean, you can test it out now.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
So there's
Should've saved there.
this is going to be a menu trick coming up, and this is probably the only quote-unquote glitch of the run. And we're basically going to pause the game during a particular part where it typically doesn't want us to. And hopefully we can get it. It's unfortunately a little inconsistent. I only need to save once. It'll make the next boss fight, though, quite a bit easier if we manage
Much
to hit it.
easier.
I do have a new setup, like kind of a backup if we don't get it, but still very much easier, much more consistent if together with the power of cooperation, we can do it together.
So yeah, in most of the fights where you have like a chance to change party before going into the fight, you can try to just spam the menu button. I was actually able to do it before the fights when you lose Kier. I was able to pull it
Yeah,
off.
there's like a small transition time between like, okay, you're having like a dialogue or some sort of cutscene, and then, oh, a fight's starting. There's a small window where sometimes they'll let you get a menu off in there. I mean, it's probably like a frame, quote unquote, a frame or 2 frames or some very small window that we have. And all we really are just going to be doing is just mashing the pause at a particular point. All right. But I have some backups in case we don't get it. One of the backups is putting the law in my party. Because we'll have 3 forced encounters and then followed by a boss fight. So ideally, I want everybody, or at least bad breaks, to be fully healed up before the boss fight. But I have to get through these fights, so I'm going to have to use a bunch of OP. Because, while Blow Beat's really good, it still is really expensive.
Yep.
So, last fight, before I Blow Beat, I'm going to
Ethan up, yeah.
Ether. It's right here. You notice that the Law is always starting first. She has a weapon that makes her start the fight with full ATB. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Alright. Don't do it yet.
Yeah.
So you can like kind of quote unquote soft lock the game if you do that menu trick I mentioned too early.
I did not know that.
Did you not? I found this out like the day before I left for the marathon. So
The doctor has regenerated and
I
returned.
guess so. So the doctor is going to join our party, and we're going to get into a party menu. So I'll let you know when I'm about to exit. So once I exit, we're going to try to pause here. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, we did it.
Yay.
So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
able
a
to go
lot.
in here, use a heal bean stew. I'm able to heal everybody up. I'm able to. Ooh, I actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something.
That glitch is a direct reference to Chrono Trigger, by the way.
Yeah,
I-
that's true.
I guess
This is
that's true.
a similar glitch is used in Chrono Trigger.
Where is?
It
Oh, there
just
he is.
got pushed with the
Oh, I was like, where did he go? So I'm gonna blow beat
and slow.
and slow, and this guy's
Nice.
super susceptible to Paralyze. It seems to last a really long time.
Yeah, he just sits there and does nothing until it wears off.
That's what we want because he has some really frustrating moves. He loves healing himself up when he gets below half HP.
He can put a healing, like a heal over time on himself, or he can just do a one-time heal for 999. It's really annoying.
Yeah, he has 4,000 or so HP, and it takes a while to kill him, but it lasts long enough that it's not a big deal.
Some HP boosting. Gonna be doing nothing with Nadir. Or, sorry.
Green Oron. Mostly because ideally he doesn't do anything anyway.
できるわ
And by the time he does do stuff, he's going to be at an HP level where he's probably going to heal.
もう怖いものは何もない
Don't
I think
run
you're
out.
fine, but yeah, just in
Yeah,
case.
just to be safe.
Yeah.
It doesn't really take any time now.
よし
I should have.
Waited for momentum.
Oh, he's awake.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that extra
yeah.
slow, I think. So he's going to heal for a bit here, but it should be fine. We got a momentum and then another one. No.
Do another ether just so that my damage is a little bit higher. Because again, damage tied to HP and MP.
はい
よしこれで戦況を変えてやる
Not quite. Probably
No,
should be
no.
one more.
As long as he doesn't heal again.
Huddle is good because it
Does heal a
heals, but
bit.
it doesn't heal immediately.
Yeah.
はい
It's a regenerate type ability.
これで
That's
戦況
now
を変え
the
てやる
heal
Not
over time,
ideal.
but we'll take it.
Complete drop.
It's okay, I'll drop all the items that he's dropped before,
先を急
which is none.
It gives us another copy of that.
Oh, yeah. For all that money we need to spend.
So 2 less could have been at 2 turns faster.
Yep.
Not super bad, and that fight can go much worse if you don't get the menu trick off. You do a bit less damage. My damage still seemed to be a little on the low side. I'm trying to. Usually I remember doing like consistently 700 at least. I could just be remembering incorrectly.
So, yeah,
Could
that
just
looks
be
about
low
right for me.
damage rolls as
It
well.
could be too. Some damage rolls are a little. Have
They-
some big.
And to get
variance
to
in them.
higher damage, it gets more random.
Yeah, let's not forget to talk to the children again,
And also the researcher.
and also the researcher.
Yeah.
But I think both of us have forgot each one of those once at least.
I
So
usually don't
just
forget the children, but I've forgotten the researcher, definitely.
cutscenes we
And
have
IP.
to make sure to get. They sing a lovely song for us. It's pleasant, so I guess we'll just listen along.
Yep. This is that second break.
谷の中
Are we dancing?
いついつでやるボケの門に空を越えて帰りたいあの日の思い出勇気
Shoutouts to the Japanese restream.
I wonder how accurately translated that.
It's pretty accurate.
Okay. So right now we're trying to dissect the children's song, like saying, "Hey, is it some sort of puzzle riddle thing that will get us to where we want to go?" Basically, it hints out that there might be something related to an airship in the ruins. Well, we figured that out by listening to the song, talking to this researcher guy. It's like, "Hey,
By
have
the
you
way,
heard this children's song before? It might mean something. Something about a bird. The bird is a metaphor.
The bird is the word.
The bird is a metaphor for being a jerk."
Yep. That is exactly what the bird is for.
But unfortunately, we need Judge Dredd.
Yeah, so researcher's
she
kind
at?
of like, "Hey, Crest, like, relating to the royal family," which Judge Dredd is related to the royal family. It's like the last line of the blood of the royal family. And she went a little something Super Saiyan or some
She went crazy again.
uncontrollable madness overtaking her. So we're talking to Cornelius and like, "Okay, guy, what really happened?" And they basically tell us that, okay, she ate some monster meat, which apparently is really bad, and for the most of the time it just straight up kills you. But since Judge Dredd is such a strong individual, instead of killing her, it just makes her kind of go lose control of herself, and like the monster takes over. So we need to figure out how to heal that so we can, get a bird.
Yep. And eventually she turns into a monster. I think that's the idea.
And I would say maybe 5 minutes, or a little somewhere in that range in terms of the Luminaire bid war.
We'll let you know.
So have a few minutes left.
Probably cut it off at the start of the fight.
That's probably a good point.
Don't forget, you had to do it.
I had to do it. It was shiny. I couldn't resist. I don't even know what it was. I think it was an onion.
Sunset Crown, I believe is what it said.
Oh.
Don't forget to get the
Oh yeah.
item.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll do it this fight. There's a lot of guys in there. That's a lot of XP. So I'm gonna get a time kill on one of these dudes, the Shroombacks, which are the weird monkey guys with mushrooms growing on their backs, appropriately named. As you remember, Plopeat does more damage when things are close to each other. A lot of combo power and shock, which isn't that useful for us.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate, but we don't really use a lot of Cyclone outside of boss fights. So
A lot of, yeah. Which unfortunately we don't use shotgun bots.
Let's check it out. Judge Dredd is doing. It's not too happy. Hang in there, Judge Dredd.
her followers sort of sealed her there.
Yeah.
Yep.
She became too.
Got her down for now.
At least they put her in front of the ruins for us.
Yeah. How
They're convenient.
一丁蹴散らしてやるが力を貸すとしこれぐらいでやられる俺じゃないぜ
I could have picked that up. I didn't. I was
See,
thinking of
you can resist the urge.
Just like Judge Dredd, you need to resist the beast within.
I can't.
I can't control it.
It's getting stronger.
Let's see. Didn't get it.
You just like the noise it makes.
I mean, it's kind of neat. Super hard boss fight. Let's save. Super hard case.
Just in case.
I mean, I've seen it happen.
Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened.
I have seen someone actually die to this.
I have seen someone die to this.
I missed that one, but apparently it's
It
happened.
really shouldn't happen, but
No. You have to
Anything can
be
happen at this
fairly
point.
negligent to die to this.
So we're going to go back to Sayagi, the healer, and be like, look, we need a way to cure this thing, Judge Dredd. How can we do it? Well, there's a spell I can teach you. What's the name of the spell? We don't know yet.
You'll have to tell us.
You'll have to tell us eventually. Not quite yet. We'll cut off the bidding in just a few seconds here.
All right.
So
Oh, very, very last chance.
minute.
If you're very fast.
Very
yeah,
fast.
with Twitch delay, it
Which, by the time Twitch delay happens, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give him a few
very
extra
fast.
seconds then. We'll give him like maybe 5 seconds after the fight starts. So
All right, I'll hit refresh.
It should start. After the first heal, let's go with that.
yeah, after the first two. That's good. That's good.
So you're basically you just have to survive a certain number of rounds while she blasts you with lightning.
8 lightning twos.
And these can crit,
These can crit.
but thankfully one crit will
Okay.
not kill you
Cut it off. No more donations.
All right.
for that bid war.
For that
Please
bid
still
war.
continue donating.
Oh, yeah.
Please
Just
continue
don't
donating.
stop.
That specific one.
You
We're
can
very
put it all
close
to
to 25.
the final boss form.
So each of these are just going to do 100 damage. If it does, if Sayagi does crit, which you probably won't see, it does 140, I believe. So as
Something
long
like
as
that,
it's
yeah.
just not 2 back-to-back crits and I don't heal after the first crit, that's the only way we can die.
She can also miss. If she
can
misses
also
twice, you can not heal once and
Yeah,
save
you can,
that
like,
little bit of time.
Get a little lucky.
I haven't seen it yet.
I think I've seen it. I think it happened to me.
I think one miss, but not two.
We do have a $25 donation from Defect Mechanism. Never played this before, but the law looks and sounds amazing. This goes towards the final form Samsara fight.
Thank you.
So nothing new for Luminaire here. So we'll have Burning Finger.
Burning Fingers.
Thank you for your donations towards that.
And you'll need to remind on the, like, we'll have to truncate the name a
Sure.
little bit, I believe. So we'll get a second.
It's 12 letters. It should be fine.
You need to take out the E
FNGR.
at the end.
We'll see how it plays out.
Is it FINGR?
FINGR.
Okay.
The windows are covered, so we can't really look to the skies in the east.
You can actually change all the names of the sprite nets. So we're gonna put on Luminaire, and hey, look, do you want to change the name? Sure. Sorry.
Now it is Burning Finger.
Burning Finger.
Let
So
the Burning Fingering
we'll have something a little bit special in the next cutscene. For those of you who don't know, I believe what this is referring to is a particular move in is it Mobile Suit
G Gundam.
G Gundam, yeah. Very kind of poor dubbing that a lot of people tend to make fun of. This and Shining Finger are kind of two moves that the main character uses that are just a little ridiculous. I guess in the original Japanese it was also pretty bad too, but particularly in English when it came over here, it was quite comedically bad. Not that I need to do this right now, but might as well.
Doesn't hurt.
So when exactly are we going to do the thing? And are you going to join in, Freddie?
Oh, you guys got this.
Oh, okay.
It's all yours. They're going to do a thing.
We're going to do a thing.
A thing, not the thing.
A thing.
So we have to go over here, and well, we got to use. So the reason we got Burning Finger was to heal Judge Dredd. So I'll have to use Burning Finger on Judge Dredd. A nice little cutscene. How do we want to do this?
I just lost the game, by the way.
Right when it starts casting? Want to do
Sure.
a countdown? Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1.
This hand of mine is burning red. Its loud roar tells me to grasp victory. Erupting, burning finger.
I mean, pretty
It does.
much.
It really does.
Pretty much. In terms of like what Burning Finger does in terms of a spell, if you're familiar with Luminaire from Chrono Trigger, AoE light-based damage. This also has the effect they gave it a little bit of restorative properties too. That it like supposed to like draw bad from monsters and like heal your allies. So it hurts enemies, heals your team. It also
Pretty useful.
It also has the nice little thing of making a triple tech with X-Strike. So we get our first triple tech now, and you'll get to see that in the next. Pretty much throughout the rest of the run, we'll be in place of X-Strike. We're going to be using Grand Cross. Does a lot of damage. Has both light and dark elemental properties to it. Hits a bunch. Has good chance of critting. Just generally pretty useful.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to do something.
The reason it's so useful too is because of
Guys, what did I forget to buy during the run?
Oh, Battle Cry. Yeah.
Battle Cry. Should I go and get that?
that's
Do we want to do it without it?
you probably
Up to you.
should.
I probably should. Good job. Good job.
This
That's
is
okay.
my one
We're
contribution to the route. Battle Cry. I guess we'll talk about it more when we get to the boss. But
yeah, Battle Cry is particularly useful. It's basically
Wrong
a
way.
buff. Thank you. It's basically a buff that Bad Breaks uses. It for one turn, basically going to be raising all your stats. And it raises them a lot. So for the next boss fight, we're going to be basically bypassing an HP trigger, and we'll get a little more into that when we actually get to the boss. But I made sure to get all the items for Battle Cry, and then I
Yep.
just forgot to pick it up.
Your timing with getting the items throws off my thinking of it for some
Yeah.
reason. Like doesn't
I
even make
get
sense.
it on the you'd get it on the way and then buy it here before.
But
Stout
this is
Chief.
like so.
I don't
so
even
long.
buy it here like anymore. I just like think about it when I get it earlier.
But going back to Luminaire, the momentum effect also gives you auto
You
raise.
have to sell still. Because you haven't sold
Oh
the
yeah, I
thing
haven't
yet.
sold the thing.
You can sell it there, I guess, technically.
So fast.
So fast.
Battle Cry.
That's fine.
And so we will be using the re-raise or auto life or whatever you want to call it.
It's particularly useful in a few situations where like this is scary. I don't want to die. It's okay. We have auto revive.
Yep.
That's a property of Luminaire, or sorry, Burning Finger. I think I got a little too excited about the Burning Finger that I forgot about it. I'll blame that.
I guess you were caught red-handed forgetting about things.
Please stop. Make it stop.
Okay, back on track.
Yep.
So we're entering the ruins that Judge Dredd opened.
And these are the same palette as the other ones.
Yep.
Pretty similar setup. There will be kind of a unique little thing about this walkthrough.
Yes.
I think we'll just keep it straightforward. Have no sort of shenanigans. Basically, we're going to be quizzed on what it takes to be a king, because it's supposed to be like a testing grounds. Only the worthy can get through this place. There's going to be like 4 questions that a unknown figure is going to be asking us, and if we get it wrong, then it's a time loss. That's really all it is.
Quite a bit, actually.
All right, we have a $50 donation here from Teletran1. I'm old enough to have played Chrono Trigger in college, and the entire series, Trigger Cross Radical Dreamers, is my favorite. We even named one of our cats Kyra. I have heard of people comparing I Am Setsuna to the Chrono series, but I think that's missing the point. It's a beautiful, sad game that stands out on its own. Thank you for running the game for RPG Limit Break, and I hope this exposes it to a larger audience. Thank you for supporting Nami and all the good work you do. Please put my donation to fighting the Final Form Samsara incentive. Good luck, and I hope you all have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
and continue your work on Cybertron.
So we're going to get quizzed here, and I'm going to probably ask Freddie to not ruin
Yeah,
this.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we're going to get quizzed. This quiz, if a king gives a ring to a peasant, is that basically just so the peasant can sell the ring? Let our minds be as one. No, that is not just. A better king would find some way to make the peasant not need to sell random stuff from the king and make life good for all the peoples.
Yeah, I somehow managed to get all of these right my first playthrough.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize getting them wrong threw you back. I thought
Because
I just
like this is the only port in a run where your decisions actually make
matter.
a considerable difference.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just dialogue difference, and like maybe you'll see some things a little differently. But it'll
Another owl.
Yeah.
It'll only be like maybe a few seconds difference in
At
very
most.
few locations. This would probably cost us maybe a minute if we got something wrong.
If you do get it wrong,
flying
you get
Setsuna.
sent back to.
Oh,
the
that's interesting. I've never seen her fly during battle like that. So
yeah,
sometimes
it's because she was kind of up to
yeah.
the thing.
Let's see if she stays like that.
I don't think so.
Oh no. So if one of your party members is still on the bridge as you're rotating it, sometimes they get tossed up into the air. It doesn't do anything. I tried to see if there's like some way like I could abuse it for some. Maybe I could like get around some certain locations. It just looks funny. That's all.
There are a few. I don't know if they're glitches necessarily, but some visual bugs maybe. But they don't have any actual impact other than we had the invisible doctor
Yeah.
way back in Flanea.
Did I? No, I need to.
Yep, that one first.
Yeah, this one first. So sometimes you
Pay attention to the last one.
forget which bridge is to activate when.
Snakes. Snakes.
Mushroom, mushroom.
To the left.
Okay, so this question is going to be: look, this woman is not actually a woman. It's supposed to be a girl from Royberg, but wait, thou must not be deceived. The woman before you is no woman but a monster. So we
What?
have to decide: is she a monster or is she a woman?
Is she a monster? Is she a monster?
Shut up.
Yeah,
Stop
the
lying.
lady's like, hey, I don't want to die, please.
And if you are paying attention, we rescued her from the cave,
Okay.
from the Carbosaurus beetle.
No doubt, Bad Breaks, who has decided against the murder of the sacrifice, will also understand.
You can't murder the law.
So, interestingly enough, like, Judge Dredd is always, I know what the answer is, but let's see what Bad Breaks' answer is. She definitely doesn't, she didn't wait for Bad Breaks to answer first.
Nope. It's the mark of a true
True King,
King,
just,
yep.
yeah. I mean, it kind of
have
is.
someone
kind of
answer and
is.
take
They
credit
kind
yourself.
of
Yes.
reference that later.
It's called delegation.
Yeah. So yes, we were correct. And we have to be a little careful, just because even compared to a normal run, we're going through the text so quickly. So we're like, okay, let's
I'm
pause.
just gonna stop doing stuff.
Yeah, like be real careful.
We don't have
You
to worry about
can-
the next time.
Yeah, you can just smash through the rest.
Whoa, you're spoiling. They know. You're telling them what the answer is.
They won't be able to see the answer anyway. We're doing it
That's
too
true.
fast.
So the first two questions, it's option number 2, so you have to be careful not to match too fast. But second two options, luckily enough, happens to be option number 1, so we can just mash to our
Otherwise, you will get sent back to the beginning of that particular floor. And I mean, no one would seriously get the answer wrong twice in a row.
I'm sure you're referencing a particular runner.
What does ... count as a wrong answer? Or
I've never actually done ... I'm guessing it
Me
counts as a
either.
wrong answer.
Yeah.
Another owl.
Enough owl already.
One thing I haven't plugged much is that we do have a grand prize for this marathon, a Nintendo Switch provided by Rosentia. Minimum bid is $25, and that's good for the whole marathon.
Also comes with Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yes.
Did
Yes, it
you
does.
know that this game was recently released on the Switch?
Yes, it
That's
was.
true.
There you go, more incentive.
And interestingly enough, the Switch version, specifically the Switch version, has a unique added bonus to it. There's a PvP mode on the Switch version where you're able to battle with other people online.
Asynchronously. You set up your team and then...
Yeah, I haven't actually seen
Don't
it.
you get that one?
That needs a world game.
Oh, all right. Oh, sorry, we don't get that yet.
That'll be in the next one.
Yeah.
So this time it's the mysterious voice saying, "Hey, someone among you is not a human. Who is it?" I don't know. Who is it? It's the doctor.
It's the actually
Which,
changed
I mean,
to
it's
the
pretty
doctor.
appropriate.
Yeah.
Doctor technically isn't human.
Doctor isn't even. That's true.
So there are references to it earlier on, and that you might be able to figure out that something with Eterna / the Doctor just isn't normal.
I mean, she did kind of disappear that one time.
Yeah, it disappeared, and then randomly
That's,
showed up and be like, "Hey guys,
I
I'm
don't
back."
think I can do that, but maybe I'll try it sometime.
Trust
It'd
us.
certainly save on travel.
It would.
Yeah.
Might be
So-
side effects, though. I don't know.
The mysterious voice was also trying to get us to kill the Doctor, which would be bad because we
We need the doctor.
her for.
This is going
rest
to
of
be
the
our
game.
party for the rest of the game.
Yeah, man, you guy just heading
He's
toward the
walking
exit.
right the one direction he could be in the way. Well, one of the two
こ
directions.
のぐらいなら私でも平気だよ
And after this next boss, Freddeh will be taking over the final part of the run. And I'd really like to see the final form Samsara by Freddeh.
力を貸して
I'm sure you guys would too. So let's get that back. We have a little under an hour before we'll have to kind of cut that off. Basically, right before the quote-unquote end of the run is when that will be. Oh, man.
It'll move. Oh,
油断しないで
too late.
天の加護先を急ぎま
It's
しょう
definitely a fun fight.
Another
Plus,
thing.
we just hit 24,000.
Nice.
Good job, everybody.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you, everybody, for your donations.
Woo!
Thanks, High Spirits. Spirits.
How appropriate. High spirits, lifting spirits. But another thing we haven't heard a lot about is the Yeti and their awesome shirts for this marathon.
True.
They have 9 designs.
You know, I forgot to talk about that.
One of them's the design on that shirt right there.
Yeah,
But
RPG
purple.
Limerick is as always, is partnering up with the Yeti. They got 9 T-shirts this year. Head on over to theyeti.com/RPG Limit Break, with the limit break spelled out, and to take a look at the designs. We all got stigma-free T-shirts when we got here, I believe, and the attendee T-shirt is pretty sweet. I think I'm wearing it now. Yeah. Yes, I am. And then there's other designs you can check out. All the profits go towards the charity.
Yes, for every shirt, we're
$3.
donating $3. That's YETEE.com/RPG Limit Break.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so no more quizzes. We
No
know
more
what it takes to be a king.
more answers.
Or does a kingdom need a king? That's the last question.
The oral part of the exam is finished.
There is nothing but the law left.
Now the.
Now the
I need
physical exam.
to, put on a new weapon here. I need to make sure to.
Put on battle cry.
I did buy it. Really? Or did I buy? I think I actually bought 2.
You might have
Yeah,
accidentally
I think you
bought
bought
two.
two.
I don't think you
Because
bought
I think
it.
did
Yeah.
you happen to press it too? I have
No?
Luminaire on. Well, I'm pretty sure I bought 2. I'll have to
You have burning finger on, yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's why I'm like looking for Luminaire.
Yes.
I don't have Luminaire. I have Burning Finger. All right, so Malagran, you want to talk about this fight a little bit, since that's your
Sure.
contribution to the run?
So this guy, again, like a lot of other bosses, has sort of a buff he gets at 50%. Basically gets another turn, and with those 2 spells, he can just one-shot a party member, and then you're forever behind trying to raise everyone. You need everyone alive to do lots of damage, and it just goes really poorly. However, with Battle Cry, we should have enough damage to just bypass that whole phase and not have to worry about it at all.
Theoretically.
Luckily, these guys are close enough. They should all die.
Yep.
Look at all. Oh, so many numbers.
All the numbers.
All the numbers. Pop.
It does like 8 hits or something, I think. 8 or 10.
That's a little. I think.
It's a little disconcerting, but you should be fine.
So I'm going to. Let's use
Burning
Burning Finger.
Burning finger. Battle cry.
So now, notice it happens to heal me. That's good.
Yep.
Battle Cry. I mentioned it's going to.
That's
good.
okay.
This
That's
is
fine.
good.
She has NP still.
I'm going to wait just a second here for the crit.
Yeah, the momentum
Really
effect
close.
is guaranteed criticals, which are the red numbers. You saw one of them on the first one.
That's enough.
That
Yeah,
yeah,
it
that'll
Yes.
do.
Okay, nice.
All right. So that is
Barely, I think.
it for me for the run. I'm going to hand it over to Freddie to finish the last. Should be less than an hour.
Let's not get that cut. Okay.
All right. Let's be careful of
There
unplugging.
you go. That'll be fine.
All right. So hey, you're rewarded with an airship.
Yay, airship. You know what? Airships fly. You know what else flies? Birds.
Paper
I
airplanes.
mean, if we are going by Final Fantasy IX
And I'm really
rules,
mad at
anything,
that last airship.
Anything
that
that
is
flies is a bird.
yeah, anything that flies is a bird. Anything with wings is a bird. This definitely flies.
And they're all jerks. All
And
of them.
It doesn't really have wings, though.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm really mad at that other airship, okay?
If
I'ma
it
take it out
floats
on this
without
airship.
wings, it's a bird.
So airships are jerks, is what you're saying?
Airships
I mean,
are
this
jerks.
is
yeah.
the bird.
This one especially, though. I'll show you why in a second. Probably. Unless I do it right.
Jeff the Magnificent. That's what we're
Jeff
gonna
the
call
Magnificent.
him. Jeff.
So
So,
I forgot
10
about that.
characters, so RPG jerk and just get rid of the last eye.
Jerk
ouch.
bird.
Jerk bird.
Can we
Get
just
rid of
do?
the eye.
Can we just do this?
I can just do jerk bird.
Yeah,
That's fine.
That's fine.
Jerk bird. We want to use that name. Sure, why not? A fitting name indeed.
Time for jerk bird to fly.
So now that we have an airship, the world opens up to us, but we pretty much just want to go straight to the last area. You did
Every
it.
time.
I thought you were going to do it.
I tried not to.
But first, we're going to pick up a few chests that are now available to us. So one of the other things we get is called the World Key. And kind of like Chrono Trigger, you have the sealed chests that are locked through most of the run. and then towards the end you can open them. Kind of the same idea. So we're going to pick up a few Mega Elixirs, which do what they sound like. Heal everybody to full HP MP. Some Orichalcums, which is something we have yet to talk about. There are upgrading materials to upgrade weapons. And you can actually get every weapon to have the same stats. And then the only thing that would be different is the kind of unique passives that go on to a particular weapon. But it would require a lot of upgrade materials. So we're just going to pick some up that's easy to get. And we're going to save it for the final sword for Bad Breaks. Definitely not going to be another reference to a particularly good sword from some other RPG that I'm thinking of.
Yep, we're also picking up some extra Mega Elixirs for the final form Samsara fight.
If we can, generally we can skip this, but since we're doing that final form, or potentially doing that final form Samsara, you still have some time left. We want to make sure we're prepared for it.
I'm not saying I really want to do it, but I kind of really want to do it.
We've got
It's fun.
$5 donation here from Morton20622175. I had to say that all out. Good luck to all the runners. Money goes to Final Form Samsara.
Thank you.
Getting closer.
Getting closer.
Getting closer.
So now we are finally at the last lands. And it's basically a castle. Or a town with a castle.
It'll be a little bit of a maze.
The sort of outside bit should look familiar.
Indeed it should. It's basically the same town,
It's
except
a castle town.
Yep.
So there's the town, and then you go straight, and then you get to the castle.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
jerk birds.
Yeah.
All the jerk birds.
jerk angels.
Jerk,
ここで終わるわけには
goat with horn
さてお急ぎ
things.
ましょう
Yeah, those. This.
Oh.
So I don't
Sorry.
keep attacking instead of fleeing.
Those guys are really annoying because
Yeah, the dinosaurs are
yeah,
not fun to fight.
not fun.
Yeah.
They have a revenge move. I believe it's Meteo. Not even Meteor. They actually left it as Meteo, just obviously referencing Final Fantasy IV.
All the reference.
Doing the Meteo is not advised.
Is that something the dinosaurs can do? The Meteo.
The media.
That's really interesting that it's a revenge move from a dinosaur.
Well, I mean, what killed the dinosaurs? Maybe the dinosaurs.
the
Meteo didn't
dinosaurs
kill-
killed themselves.
Could be.
With Meteo. One died and then a chain reaction started.
There you
It
go.
was terrible. Terrible, terrible time in the history of the world.
So Judge Dredd is happy to be home.
A terrible time.
A terrible time.
Bruce Century would be really upset with you. That was like from yesterday, and he's probably still upset.
It's not like I'm referencing a name or an upcoming bid war.
Nope,
or-
not at all. Don't worry about it.
So this is pretty much just a straight up maze, and each room is really identical to another. So it's pretty easy to get lost if you don't know where you're going.
Not much of a maze.
I mean,
It's just harder to find which direction you're going if you don't not sure where it
There's
is.
multiple paths you can go, and it's because every room is a cube next to another cube, or square rather.
Oh,
Mind you, trying to thread the needle.
I got greedy.
ここで終わるわけ
A little bit. And after this first set of stairs, we take a little detour.
There'll be a good sword that we get. Not the not I think Bad Break's best sword, but certainly the best
But,
one that we can.
one of the best swords, yeah.
Certainly the best.
Yeah, technically not, but
And technically, every sword can be the best sword. It's just that based on how much you want to upgrade it.
How much money you want to spend.
Yeah, and the
So
reason
anyway-
why we haven't, you can buy certain upgrade materials, but they're so expensive.
Yep.
Like the cheap ones are like 5,000, and they won't actually add too much. So we'd have to buy a bunch
Yeah.
of them.
Like they cap at a certain amount of the total strength of
Ori
weapons.
Calcums can get something to full strength though,
すぐに
and they have a weird thing where they can only do so much when you
こ
upgrade.
のくらいなら私で
and
も
I believe you can't buy them until very, very late, if at all.
I mean, you can only find Orichalcums once you have the world key. I don't think you can buy them. Maybe post game you can, or in certain areas. Like I want to say you can.
Owl.
Another owl.
Probably be our last one.
You
We'll
say
see.
that.
I say that. I
but
say that.
Yeah.
We have
There's
a
gonna be like
whole
5
big
more.
other area.
Yeah, they're
That's
actually
true.
kind of nice because they tend to have a small hitbox. So
Yeah.
they,
Dodge,
they
yeah.
do make it a
I'm just
little
gonna
bit
do
this.
easier to get around the
油断しないで
fights.
ここで終わるわけにはいかない
このくらいなら私でも平気だよ
There's the stairs. The last one before the stairs again. Just going up a few floors here.
A little bit of story from Jeff. He wants
Character growth.
He wants to come to the Last Lands because there's supposed to be a really good library here, and maybe he can find something about his people's condition, about them having a really short life.
He seems surprised that Judge Dredd would help, but
Yeah.
like, oh, we're comrades. I will help you, of course.
But Judge Dredd upholds the law.
Judge Dredd hasn't done too much this run, to be fair.
That worked better than I expected. That dodge specifically. One more. Let's see if I get. Yep.
No,
Again. Oh,
snakes.
no, I can get it. I can get it.
No.
Ah,
できる
You got greedy.
I mean,
it wasn't that much.
he
less
took,
bad.
he took like a second there.
Yeah.
A second for Swag, I'd do that.
Okay. So I need
So-
to equip the rainbow here and stay in that menu. And use the orichalcum.
So he pretty much almost got it to max strength. Rainbow Sword, obviously
Use
being a reference to Chrono Trigger, has the property of having a really high crit rate. I don't think it's Chrono Trigger has 70% crit rate on its Rainbow Sword. I don't think it's quite that high. It's still pretty good though. It's pretty good.
And with the amount of hits on Grand Cross, it really makes a difference.
It will carry over to Grand Cross.
Tends to give you a lot of crits.
Did you save?
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely saved. Just in case.
So we do have a boss
into it.
coming up here. I mean, there's a save point, there's a boss. Like, you guys have
Like
seen enough
the
to know how
usual,
that works.
Except for that one mountain. We
Except
don't
for that
talk
one
about
mount where they get you.
Every time.
So, Reaper 4, this guy is so cool. He's sitting on the throne nonchalantly. He's not even going to take a step towards us.
He's just got.
He's just going to teleport 2 feet. Okay. Well, I need to get a little closer to you guys. I'm gonna teleport again.
To be fair, I'd do that too if I could.
I mean, yeah, like, it's not wrong.
Okay, let's get a little closer.
I mean, he uses a scythe, like, or Sith, or whatever the word.
Yep.
The
And
pronunciation.
then again.
All of them.
Steps are
I'm
too
coming
much
to
for him.
you. Okay. So this is a tough fight.
私は戦う
Hard fight.
Oh, we got one.
You're actually should still be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Oh, a miss is a little.
Yeah.
Okay, the miss made
This
it so
could-
that I mean it's not going to be bad. It's just going to be.
You got
yeah.
this. The doctor will finish.
It's the miss made it so it wasn't a one-hit kill, but genuinely it's a one-hit kill.
Yeah.
Why didn't it give us any XP though? Shouldn't. I mean,
weird.
it's a boss. It gives us XP, right?
I mean, this is an FF. This is FF12. Isn't FF12?
Uh-oh, something's happening.
It's okay. We have a second boss still. The slightly
second
harder
boss.
version.
He's
Yes.
going all Judge Dredd on us.
But he's not Judge Dredd.
So because of that miss, I think this is also going to
Look
be a
at
miss.
the sides there.
You could
just,
technically.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that sometimes will happen. Not always, where the characters will clip through the walls. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's a random
Yes.
chance. Definitely not like Dragon Lord or something like that.
So I'm going to wait for him to do something.
That wasn't ideal.
That was
But
why I waited.
見せてあげる
Burning Finger.
Birding finger. Oh, crit.
ここで終
Quick
わる
battle cry to do this a bit faster.
So if you want to be really risky, you can immediately open up with a Grand Cross. But the problem with that is if it doesn't go, like if you get trolled with a miss or two, or no crits like this, like if you get a miss and no crits,
Yep.
Still did it though.
Oh,
we
yeah.
got it.
After a battle cry, it's pretty much guaranteed.
Battle Cry, like we're way over
Even
killing
without
it
Light Pass.
with Light Bit and Battle Cry.
Without light bit battle cry, it's usually guaranteed. But yeah, So he does another revenge move at the end. So and he usually has quite a bit of AOE moves on top of it. So if you
He has a lot
aren't
of
able to
AoE.
kill it in one shot, you usually get stuck in kind of a loop until you
Yeah.
can finish.
It's a pretty scary fight if you... A lot of the fights past Stout Sheep pretty much tend to be, okay, you want to make sure the things die fast because they'll kill you fast.
Well, and really, Stout Sheep would do that too if
Yeah,
you couldn't stun them.
If paralyze wasn't a thing.
Like Dysformic, or not Dysformic,
Morph.
the tiger.
Yeah.
Formic, yeah.
This was Dysformic.
Yeah, Roaring Tigers. So, we finally got rid of Reaper.
And enter
Won't
the
be
final
bothering us anymore. This is the entrance, so we're going to talk to the doctor and be like, look, you know more than we do. Tell us about what's going on. So there's going to be exposition, then going through each floor. There's a few things we will want to pick up on 2 of the floors.
Yep.
For safety and for safety.
Mostly safety.
Mostly safety. As if we're doing that final form Samsara, then we definitely need to be on that safe side. And they aren't really that. They don't take long to get.
Another owl. Like I said, more owls.
Yeah, I said that one last. The one
Jerk
before was going to be the last one. Sorry, guys. I lied to you.
She got level off of that. The law doesn't need levels.
So luckily, even like we're still trying to get preemptives, even if we're getting to a fight that we're trying to avoid, because Setsuna has, or sorry, the law has a particular weapon that.
I feel like this isn't the right one, but
Yeah,
it was.
it is, yeah.
I think it's not the first one.
Yeah, first floor and then I think third floor.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
She has the weapon that she'll start off the battles with full ATB. So really, we could be running through this area with the law at 1 HP, and it would be completely safe as long as you don't like miss menu and fail to run away. But I've done that a few times before.
Yeah.
Gone through this section with like one person with 1 HP. The law at 1 HP.
Fine. The law got this.
So we don't have a heck of a lot of time left for the final form incentive.
There'll be one more boss fight.
Pretty much go until I start killing the first statue.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be they're going to have to do quite a bit of exposition, a fight, and then at that point it's going to be pretty close to cut off time.
All right.
So get that donation in.
Guys, get your money in for the final form of
close are
Samsara at
we?
the end of the game here. Let me just check. I lost my place.
Jerk bird. Hey.
All right,
Anti-jerk bird.
we are $215.16 out of 500, so we will need some help if we want to make it before the cutoff period here.
Let's get Freddie to do that.
I have to.
Maybe see him rip a time or two. We'll have time for definitely a few attempts. This is actually I'm kind of really impressed with how
Decent
well we're doing.
pace. Yeah.
Yeah, the dodging and the monsters have been kind.
Like all the fights have gone pretty well. Stout Sheep could have gone a little bit better, but other than that, it's pretty.
Mostly us forgetting stuff.
Mostly us forgetting
Yeah.
stuff because we're having fun.
Because
with
we're half
Burning
asleep
Finger.
having fun and no notes. That's my excuse. How's that piano going there?
I can't play the piano. I'll pretend to though.
With the best of them. Okay, fine. Sometimes they mom just be like, nope, I'm gonna block your way.
Not much we can do about it.
It's always faster to focus on than wait for them to move
And-
again.
In case you didn't notice, and you can, it's particularly easy to notice now, weapons actually do change
Correct.
like your model inside and outside of battle. So you can actually see that is a rainbow sword. and see the full rainbow.
That's right.
And
Does that mean our enemies taste the rainbow?
yes, I guess it does.
So it's a Skittle sword, is what you're saying.
It is exactly the Skittle sword. If we could
Can we
rename
get
the
the
sword.
yes? Some guy,
Yeah.
that guy will drop
That
out of
was-
the sky for some reason. It's a little funny. I'm not too sure why he decides to spawn in midair.
Usually don't bother with that Orichalcum, but
Safety. And
it helps for the last.
as long
at
as we
least
don't.
final forms. I'm
If
sorry.
we avoid the dinosaur, it really doesn't add much time.
Those are some kind dodges.
Yeah, these floors are actually being really nice to us.
One more floor to
We'll
go.
never see a run with like this low encounters. I actually should see how many fogstones we have, because that can give us a good
Oh, I'm sure a lot.
indicator. We probably have like at least in the 30s, I would guess, which is really good. I did buy 10 extra
Yeah,
fogstones than I would normally buy.
Yeah, subtract 10 from normal. Yeah, I'm going to.
ここでは負けられ
Let's
な
take
い
a look. 27. Maybe not as as good as I thought we were doing.
Yeah, I used a few extra having to run for Battle Cry and run back for the.
That's true.
That's true. I'm sorry. Alright,
すぐに片付ける
I didn't think it would be that
ここで
close
終わる
either.
わけにはいかない
yeah, the birds with the very large wingspan do have a giant hitbox.
Yep, birds are jerks.
A little puzzle here.
Last puzzle.
Flying Setsuna, or sorry, flying Ola.
Trying to remember that little optimization. Don't press X before you get to this one, or it doesn't. let you do
Yeah,
it.
sometimes if you get a little too antsy on pushing the button, it'll kind of block out until you back away and then get back into it. On any of these like switches that look like this, where it's like a pedestal, not a switch.
Ooh.
What are you
No,
doing?
it is that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left and then right.
I mean, do you want to fight 3
I like
dinosaurs?
fighting 3 dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They'll meet you with a party to death. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give an example. Okay, last fight. No dodging. I like trying to dodge this just for
So
fun.
ここで終わるわけに
final fogstone count is 25.
先を急
Guardian
ぎましょう
Goddess.
Can we get Guardian Goddess?
So Guardian Goddess is maybe we'll see it at a useful time, but it's another singularity that they mentioned there. Again, singularities are just random effects that can happen whenever you take an action at a really low chance. Guardian Goddess has the thing of just for 20 seconds. For all intents and purposes, you just can't die. You can't drop below 1 HP. Particularly useful in a few of the harder fights where we're worrying about dying. And actually, my latest PB slash record, I would have ripped to a particular fight, and the run would have been over. But I got Guardian Goddess, so something about why be good when you can be lucky.
We do have a $5 anonymous donation and $10 from Jim Bradfield. Thank you very much for your donations.
Thank you, Jim.
There's a bright light obscuring something on here.
So, what is this?
Oh, this is the previous form of the Doctor.
Yeah, I guess that would be true.
There's a fake the Doctor here.
Yeah, that kind of works out a little bit.
Yeah. See? I told you I had a plan.
So, a little bit of quick story. This individual is called the Time Judge, and she's basically been trying to guide us to defeat the Dark Samsara. So Setsuna is the sacrifice, or sorry, the law is the sacrifice here, and she's going to ask us, Dark Samsara is getting too strong. Do you want to seal it away, or do you want to fight and kill it? Then we have to make a choice, but it's one kind of those things of, but thou must. We have to kill it. And the interesting thing that the Time Judge will explain here is that this is the first time that your party has come here and been asked that question. Basically, it's kind of, you're stuck in a time loop. Your party has been stuck in a time loop, and every time they've gotten to the Time Judge, they've answered, we want to seal Dark Samsara away. And then the Time Judge will be like, no, we can't do that. Let's reset the time until they answer the correct answer of kill it. But the different thing about this time around is Bad Breaks is with us. In all the previous loops, bad breaks has not been with us. But before we can do that, we have to do a test of
Prove
time
ourselves.
judge. Another hard fight. It's about as easy as Reaper 4. Or
Crit,
hard
perfect.
as Reaper 4. Thank you. I know you can do it. There you go.
Yeah, she's weak to one of the.
I believe she's
shadow.
weak to
dark.
Dark,
dark.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Which Grand Cross does both light and dark.
And the,
So-
And the interesting thing about dual and triple attacks is that it treats any resistances on the monster as if it was neutral. Vulnerabilities still stay, but if, in this case, the time judge is strong against light, but because it's a triple attack, it reduces it to neutral.
by the way,
So
we
now
get
we actually
one
get this
final character. I guess we have to give him a name. don't
indebted
we?
to the law and the doctor. So we have a very important name. Just I,
Oh,
Yeah, I.
Yeah.
because well,
I fought the law,
and the law won.
You guys are so cheesy.
It was worth it the entire time for this.
Yeah, that's the whole reason you wanted to do this run, so you can make it cheesy.
Again, thank you for the very generous donation for naming it.
The
law.
The law
Yes.
has been pretty
Law has been
I've been enjoying
I've
looking
been-
at the projector here and seeing what game are we playing? Oh, we're playing
Law.
I Am the Law.
Yep.
So coming up on the cutoff for final form, Samsara will do, make sure to. It's a marathon. We'll save. We'll heal up. We'll do all that stuff. There's gonna be one minor cutscene, and then we'll have to make a decision. So maybe in a minute, 2 minutes, somewhere around there.
No, this button. That's right.
Okay.
So get your last minute donations
Freddie
in
is
for that.
clearly delaying here.
Nope, not at all. What are you talking about?
We are at $230.16 out of 500 for that. So we'll need a,
We'll
a
need
big
a-
bump.
We got a
in-
lot
in
really
a
We'll
fast.
need a savior.
very short
Like
amount of time.
really,
yep.
really fast at this point.
So
I can always
Those are
reload
good.
the save if it does get met between. Like, I'm okay with that. We have the time.
So
Kind of.
the difference between
really.
normally doing Samsara and final form Samsara is, you'll see in a second here, we're going to go to this zone where we, it's a kind of a, okay, this is the final area, you can't go back. There's the 4 statues in each corner. And each statue will, if you walk up to the statue, it'll be a kind of a refight of a previous boss. And for each statue you kill, it makes Samsara a little bit weaker. So if we leave all 4 statues up, Samsara is very difficult, and I will actually point out that if you try to, you can't fight with all 4 statues up. You guys aren't ready for it. I think we are ready. If someone wants to help us out. So do we want to... Did someone donate $270 at the end?
I haven't seen the total go up, so.
So
Right statue it is.
We can always hope, but it's
So at this point, we'll just do
Normal speedrun strats.
normal
Here we
speedrun
go.
strats. We're going to kill 3 statues, starting with this one here. Each fight is not too difficult because they take a bunch of damage from Grand Cross. This one's really easy because turtles are slow, so we can kill him before he gets to do anything. The next 2, you have to make sure people don't die.
やるぞ
And the reason we
Lot of
kill
crits.
3 and not all 4 statues is because the one in the back right and the one that you can kind of see in the corner there is actually kind of scary. It's a kind of a refight of that tiger fight. And as we were complaining about the tiger during the fight, this tiger also just has a chance of, oh, I'm going to look at the law, and the law is going to die. pretty
Or the
much.
doctor.
Or the doctor.
Or the doctor.
And because it's so fast, easily just one-shot someone. Even with okay, I'm going to use a food. By the way, make sure to use foods here.
Yeah.
So in these next 2 fights, we're actually going to take the time to use food because these guys have nasty attacks they can do. This one is the bird from the very beginning of the game. And we mentioned at the beginning of the game, if you were here about 3.5 hours ago, it has a nasty attack called, is it Wing Beat?
Wing slice, I believe.
Wing Slice, I think that's it. If it does that, it could potentially kill the law. if it's
Basically, Falcon hit. Dive attack is.
やるぞ
targeted. Yeah, dive attack is making fun. But that's a really good attack.
That $25 anonymous donation, born in a world of strife. Against the odds, we choose to fight. Blossom Dance. I wish the best of luck in this run. Much cheers from Trig.
So you can kind of see what that one in the back looks like. It looks like kind of like a snake. Maybe a little bit like Loch Ness Monster.
I don't know. I'm more like Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, yeah. It must be Nessie from Earthbound.
I got
We do have Jeff with us.
I got its tree fitty this time. It's okay. Tree fitty. Sorry.
So, like the first fight, the refight will always open up with Tidal Wave, and if we don't have that Purica Cobbler Salad on the Law, it will kill her.
Yeah.
100% of
A lot
the
of
time.
damage.
It does a lot of damage.
It's even stronger when the Vile from Samsara does it.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about Samsara is not only are its stats increased for each statue up, it actually gets move sets from all of the statues that you left up. So if we left the Schwarzsturm or Messer, or whatever we want to call it, up, it has the ability to be like, okay, I can Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave is a really scary attack. So we left the Tiger up. So Samsara here, when we fight it, does have some chance to use Gale Rush, which is that really nasty single target hitting attack that the Tiger can do. But also Samsara has its own moves. So we one-shot these statues. We can't just one-shot Samsara here. We will be using a combination of Luminaire, Grand Cross, and Battle Cry situationally. Sorry, not Luminaire. I meant Burning Finger.
Burning Finger.
Ironically, the attacks that it gains from the tiger aren't nearly as nasty as when
As
the tiger does.
itself, it's interesting. It's still kind of not that great, but it can't one-shot someone. Just because its stats are probably just not the same.
Yep.
So here we go. This is the quote-unquote final fight. Time won't be coming up though, so
We got
you
plenty of
got-
time.
there'll be some stuff after the fight we have to do. Judge Dredd for the future of this world. I cannot die here. Well, you're talking in third person. Bad breaks. We're counting on you. So it is susceptible to slow, thankfully. And I'll kind of wait to see what it does here.
My hand
Okay.
is burning red. It's loud grass
final.
tells me, or it's loud roar tells
You're
me the
getting,
grass.
we're not even doing Burning Finger yet.
I stopped doing it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Uh,
So using Battle Cry there, and a Momentum Battle Cry does some pretty nice things because it increases our crit, and it'll also increase defense and attack. Just
Okay.
remove the slow, which is actually a pretty good thing because it's kind of a waste of a turn for it because we'll just reapply the slow. We're kind of making sure it doesn't do some scary attacks, some hard-hitting single target attacks, mostly on bad breaks would be a little annoying. Another Battle Cry. Get all our stats up. That's nice miss on bad breaks. Because remember, we want him at full HP so he does more damage.
this might actually just kill. Get enough crits.
I think
Probably
that's
not.
it. That's it. And a complete drop just
Yeah,
for.
it was. Wow.
And he does have a revenge move. It
Yeah,
happened
so you
to
have to be
miss.
careful for that. And I think I've ever two-hit him.
That was a really straightforward fight.
That was a
It
solid.
was really cooperative.
Yeah, you use one actual attack, I think.
One actual attack. Sometimes it can just do that tail swipe move a lot. It can just punch somebody in the face for like 300 damage.
Yep.
And again, if Bad Breaks actually starts taking damage, our damage falls off considerably. But hey, we've killed the final boss, but it's not time yet. What is the deal?
Yeah, that's not over yet.
It's not. Technically,
We
there is
got-
another fight.
He's going back in time.
It's going back in time. I mean, it is
And
supposed
so,
to be
with the
something-
doctor, we must follow.
I guess that's true. It is. There are a lot of references to Chrono Trigger, so there's a little bit of time travel that we're going to do at the end here. So, in terms of what Dark Samsara is, as the Time Judge and Turna have explained to you, or sorry, the Doctor have explained to you, Dark Samsara kind of originated from a young youth, as they refer it to. And for whatever reason, this particular lad was had a lot of magical energy. And in days past, like researchers and scientists basically were using magical energy to draw, like, get their power. And they decided to use this particular youth. And so he has like unlimited magical energy. We can just draw him for everything. But the youth was actually okay with it. He was like, yeah, this is fine. It's like for the good of people, kind of. But at some point, it got to be too much. And, he became twisted and eventually turned into like Dark Samsara and started kind of wreaking havoc on the worlds. So the Time Judge started this whole thing of sealing away Dark Samsara, but over time it has grown in strength, and like that, especially with the sacrifices before you failing, like things have not been going well, and that's why the Time Judge kind of gives you the ultimatum of, you can seal it now, I'll give you the decision to, but if you choose to not kill it, I'm going to reset the run and make you start over. Luckily, she won't actually reset the run for us. She reset their run, not our run.
Yep.
And the save points actually kind of have a little bit of a part in the story, because they refer to the like points in time in the earlier like time loops that both Bad Breaks and the Law are able to see. Nobody else can see them. So like it kind of, I guess, kind of makes a reference to like when you save, it was like part of like an earlier run or something.
Timeline, yeah, basically. Save points are actually like kind of baked into the game as a logical reason why you can restart from a certain point.
They kind of make sense of that.
Yeah.
So where did we go back to? This is the Nye Village, or Harbor.
Soon to be village. So there is going to be a important question soon.
Oh, yes.
We're going to have to kill or save something. So I think chat should know what to do with this.
Yeah, so we'll need some help from the host.
Hey, Abda, if you want to start checking Twitch chat and give us a consensus of what people want us to kill or save.
Kill or save.
I'll leave what we're
doing. Alright, guys. We'll have about 3-4 minutes before we have to make that decision.
Yep.
And then after that decision, the run will be over.
If you want to kill,
spam it in chat.
Or save, spam it in chat. Well, I'll try and get a very accurate count here.
Yeah.
As accurate as possible.
We need this to be accurate. It must be.
It's very important.
Very important. We're just told to go to the monuments. There's some figure that someone saw over there. You don't need to dodge the penguins. They're not there.
It's a habit, okay.
I do the same thing. It's okay. And technically, there will be another fight. And there is some slight optimization you can do here.
Very slight.
Very slight.
You wait for a momentum. That's the thought.
Whoa, now you're ruining it.
Or hope for a crit.
Yeah.
Or hope for a crit. Do you want to hope for a crit?
No.
Oh, man. Look at this guy. He doesn't believe. Watch there be a crit.
I think we have a pretty good consensus here.
Okay, well, we'll ask in a little bit what that
we got a couple minutes.
Not quite.
Okay.
But so this is the youth, as I was talking about regarding Dark Samsara. So you can kind of, again, this game is based on, this whole theme of the game is based on sadness.
Sadness and loneliness.
So the youth basically became twisted because it was stuck by itself, like no one to love it, care for it. And it now has an intense hatred for what? Never forgive what? Never forget? Oh, humans.
Never forgive humans.
Yeah. And, oh, I'm sorry, the law. All right.
Defeating him of our destiny.
All right.
As the law, you must.
Technically, final fight here.
Crit.
Oh, he went for it. So the
wonder.
optimal way to do this fight would be to wait for a momentum, then use a momentum attack. Or if you
Has
get it
anyone
correct,
actually
though,
timed this, actually?
I
Oh, you can't get
it has
off in
to
time.
do with the
The speech.
speech. Now you get the crit.
There's
Game,
been a number
please.
of unnecessary
Game,
crits.
please. I know, right?
So I think we're probably.
So what's
gonna
the
need-
consensus?
Yeah.
Consensus is to save.
Save,
Okay. That means
okay.
I have to pay attention.
You have to pay attention. So what are we
Fortunately, it's an easy
saving?
cue.
Are we saving the youth?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Kind of.
Okay, I won't touch anything. I don't
We'll
want
just,
to
we'll
ruin
just, we'll just watch.
Uh,
Time is coming up. By the way.
Yeah.
Time is coming
Once
up
we
very
make
shortly.
the decision, it will be time. So the law has absorbed the youth into her, and we have to make the decision:
Please destroy
Save
my
or-
body.
save or kill the law. And you guys chose to save the law.
So we're gonna save the law.
And time.
Clap for yourself. We saved the law. Yes.
We saved
Good job,
the
us.
law.
Hey, beat estimate. Good job.
That's good. That's good.
That's
Thank
actually a
you.
pretty good time for forgetting a few things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would have beat my PB if we didn't miss that.
That's true. If we didn't forget Battle Cry.
I mean,
And
it
if we had
probably would have
better-
been closer if you said save or break the law.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, we didn't want to give it away what
We
we,
don't
were
wanna give-
saving.
yeah.
So maybe that would have been better, though.
That would have probably been better.
Now we have to do
One
a
more
little.
cutscene, and then
yeah.
we can actually just kind of let this go.
Well, one more.
we should
tag
probably
smashing.
move on, though.
Yeah.
I guess depending on we are.
How are we
probably-
on time?
Okay. Okay.
It's like we gotta move on.
There's
So
a
that
very
was-
nice wrap up, but
You should
we've
play the
gotta-
game yourself.
you should play the game and see it. This has been a lot of fun doing this with Freddie.
Yeah.
I didn't. We kind of did the last minute in terms of the co-op.
It's like,
where
they said, you guys want to do co-op? Or
actual
like,
co-op
we'll just
of
do
someone
co-op.
having a keyboard
Yeah.
and the other person having.
We're like, oh yeah, we can just do this. So it's
Yeah.
actually a co-op run.
Uh,
So yeah,
shout
thank
outs to
you.
Malagron for being on the couch.
Thank you for having us, everybody. We had a great time. Malagron, you're awesome. Takaze, you're awesome.
You're awesome, Freddie.
Everyone out there in Twitchland, you're awesome.
And
Everyone else at the event, you're
thanks,
also awesome.
Thanks for the law again. That was really
Yeah.
funny.
That was great.
All right, let's hear it for Takaze and Freddeh for an awesome I Am Setsuna run.
Don't you mean I'm law then?
I am the law.
And we just have a $5 donation from an anonymous donor. It says Je t'aime Ariel, which I guess is French for I like Ariel. Maybe it's I love. Something like that. Anyways, thank you very much for your $5 donation. All right, we're going to get set up for our next run here, which is going to be Xenoblade Chronicles.